Promise me you'll get me through. Just tell me I can do this too. For everything we fight to never lose. 'Cause everything we want, oh, is everything we need. Just like I need you, oh, it's just like you need me, oh. Strength unknown, don't you fail on me now. I got the world on my back and my head on the ground. Strength unknown, don't give up on me now. You gotta have a million eyes staring you to the ground. No, I won't do this alone. No, I won't do this alone. Without my strength unknown. Without my strength unknown. Strength unknown, don't give up on me now. You gotta half a million eyes staring you to the ground. No, I won't do this alone. Tell me I can run to you. Promise me a rendezvous. Just tell me I can stand the truth. For everything we hope to never lose. 'Cause everything we want, oh, is everything we need. Just like I need you, oh, it's just like you need me, oh. No, I won't do this alone. No, I won't do this alone. Without my strength unknown. Without my strength unknown. Strength unknown, don't give up on me now. You gotta half a million eyes staring you to the ground. No, I won't do this alone. Strength unknown, don't you go. Strength unknown, don't you go, don't you go. Strength unknown, don't you go. Don't you go, don't you go. Strength unknown.
It is the third and final day of the Apex qualifiers featuring Rocket League presented by Thrustmaster Heart. We have What is $10,000 and a land spot on the line? I'm your host, Lawler. I'll be running you guys through the action, but I can't do it without Lethamyr. Welcome to the broadcast, buddy. Good to pull you in as always.
Hello.
Before we get into all the specifics of like what we've got going down today and everything else, I mean, it's the last day of qualifiers, man. It has been a lot of work to get to this point, and like, man, we're seeing people like ninja submit last seconds for qualifier too. Like, it is truly a matter of seconds, dude.
Yeah,
a matter of seconds.
We're at the last day, and we have so many competitors who are in close contention. The first day of submissions, we expected this to have a lot of people submitting. Day 2, cut that in about half because people knew right away that there's some really high-level players that are in here pulling out some amazing times. And the last second, we're seeing people just cut new world records over and over and over again. So it's finally submissions closed. I got to make sure that that actual channel is closed. Let me do that real quick.
Yep, I'm posting the code Training Pack 3 as well. So while we're doing all this and we're clicking buttons because there's a lot of things happening, let's talk about what you guys are actually doing today and what you're planned for. If you guys have joined us, this started all on Friday, and the reality of it was we said 3 p.m. Eastern, we're going to release a Training Pack code. You have 24 hours to complete that as fast as humanly possible. Speedrun it. And we got some crazy attempts. There were some highs and some lows out of the gate, people cutting down to 8 minutes, and then 4 minutes, and then 3 minutes, and it just kept getting lower and lower and lower until we unfortunately had to close the submissions. If you guys want to see what those submissions are, you can do exclamation point leaderboard in chat. Shout out to guys at speedrun.com for helping us out and see how those are going. Yesterday we did the same thing. Brand new training pack this time. The first one made by Linkaroo. Now it's made by Waitin. We sat and talked with Waitin a little bit. You guys had 24 hours to do that one. And now today, bringing him out of retirement, we've got Thanovic bringing you the third and final training pack. So you have 24 hours from now, or technically a little bit less, up until 2:59 p.m. EST tomorrow to drop and complete that code as quickly as possible. What we're then going to do is, after everything is all said and done, once we get all our ducks in a row and officially confirm all these training packs, we're going to add up the times of these people, and whoever has the slowest or technically the fastest, the least amount of time across all 3 packs, we're going to send an official invite to land, all expenses paid, to come hang out with us, and a chance to win up to $10,000. It's a pretty cool deal. Pretty cool.
And considering how close the times are, today is going to be insane. We have some contenders on the line. We have Dongsku, who's working really hard to keep ahead, but unfortunately he is around 3 seconds behind Kevin, who is currently the pack leader for pack 1 and 2. He had spot number 2 on the first pack, but spot number 1 by just an extra second, I believe, a 3:06. On the way, no, he was ahead on the first one. Yeah, it's very close. Kokun, I believe, didn't have below a 3:10 today. He had a 2:10 on the first one, so he is close. There's a couple seconds between the 3 of them, and there's obviously still players who can pull in there if they have an amazing run on the third pack.
Yeah, it's been absolutely bananas to watch the evolution of these going in. I woke up kind of early this morning and was checking into some of the top competitors. Donsku and Kokun were both grinding this morning, technically late for them, so it makes sense. But the ability to kind of put those things all together and try to do last minute submissions. So I think it makes a lot of sense for the Europeans, where they go, okay, I'm going to compete up until the final submission. I'm going to jump straight into the next day and then come back to it again the next afternoon or
it's
whatever.
good to have a fresh mind on it too. It's an advantage to be able to do that as well. Just have 2 big compartmentalized times where they can kind of get familiar with the pack in the night for them, and then in the morning they come refreshed, maybe take some notes, dream about it. Who knows? But yeah, it's
Tetris
really
effects going on, dreaming of the shots.
100%. It's been fantastic to watch. I hope you guys are enjoying the watch party kind of style of this qualifier. It's a lot different to any other qualifier where we have like teams playing against each other.
Yep.
It's all individual skill. It's individual speed. There's a lot that came out of this pack, a lot more than I expected. Because this is a first time go for us. It's a bit of a pilot, so us testing out the play style of this format for qualifying, it actually is going. Well, we keep talking about it every time after the broadcast. It's going a lot better than we expected. People are loving it. You guys are loving we're seeing reception from you guys. I think this can be refined. And like we said, if there's additional features in the future that come into the training packs, I think it'll be even smoother.
Yeah, as Lethamyr is noting, it is definitely a pilot. We're trying to figure things out, and we've seen small improvements from day to day, both in the production as well as behind the scenes and submission stuff. And a lot of that is due to the people that are helping us out, and we can't do that without our sponsors. First and foremost, shout outs to Epic Games. Without them, we literally can't do this event. If you guys don't realize how expensive it is to put this stuff on, I don't even want to go into it, but yeah, without their help and their support and the kind of the green light to be creative about this process, we literally can't do this. We also have to obviously give a ton of thank you to our title partner for the qualifiers in Thrustmaster Heart. They are providing controllers to all of our attendees at the LAN in person, and also trying to give one to you guys as well. If you guys do exclamation point giveaway, we will be running a giveaway at the tail end of the broadcast. So make sure you guys go and sign up for that exclamation point giveaway in the chat. For everybody on the YouTube streams, it should be in the description for you all as well. If you do exclamation point heart, though, it will give you some details about that new Hall stick controller, which Lethamyr has been doing such a fantastic job gushing about all weekend long.
Oh yeah, I mean, I have the controller. I've talked about it the last 2 days. I use this thing pretty much all the time now, and not even just Rocket League, but other games as well. The build is really solid. This is the newest one. This is the Heart controller that we're talking about here. They have other controllers as well. The eSwap X2 is the second version of their eSwap. It's a much better build size. They're honestly great controllers, and Thrustmaster has been around for a long time. They've done a lot of research on the Hall effect. How it works is it uses frictionless technology in the sticks, so that way it doesn't break down over time. They'll last a lot longer. Honestly, it's kind of funny because it's not a great business model to have controllers that you'll never have to buy again, but you know, it's really cool that they do it. These sticks last so much longer. I have a graveyard of controllers. I keep talking about it, but this will last way longer, and it's a really easy move from whatever controller you use to move over to one of these, because especially with this one, you can switch the stick positions to be like a PlayStation controller or like the format for the Xbox, whatever you like. There's also different stick models and stuff like that. Super cool that they have the flexibility and modularity of the controller, and if you want to replace pieces, it's not too difficult because it's just, you know, just one part of the controller rather than the whole thing. But the Heart controller is amazing. It's really smooth. I love the green light that comes. I'll show about this on the next time we talk about it. The green light on the middle is a super cool design. I love the black and white kind of contrast. It's a great controller. So definitely, if you're looking for a change from the stock controllers, something more sustainable, something more cost efficient, check it out.
Well done, sir. Well done. Again,
yeah,
for everybody that is here and everybody that is hanging out, make sure you guys, if you can, stay tuned into all of the things that are going on with the online stuff. Obviously, there's a lot of ways that we're trying to post and keep you guys up to date on stuff. We have a lot of commands in chat, but the easiest way to do it is checking out the Apex RL on Twitter. Really good way to do it. And obviously, we have our sponsors that are helping us support and put towards production. But if you guys want to get directly involved in that, an easy way to do so is by checking out our merch. A really cool way, if you guys check it out. It's kind of our way of giving back. All proceeds for the merch is coming right back to us and allowing us to level up this event even more. We've been doing that as well for cost effectiveness. Is an early bird special for everybody who's an early adopter of picking up merch. It is discounted, very high quality, all embroidered, really clean. I know we're all very much so looking forward to receiving these in the mail so we can start wearing them. But if you guys are looking to pick something up, if you want something as a token of our appreciation, not only are they very high quality, but it also gives you something. People were like, hey, how can we donate to the event? How can we help support it? We figured, you know what, you might as well get some merch out of it and get some clothing out of it. So check those out. Exclamation point merch in the chat if you guys would like to do so. Those are going to be a very easy way to not only show your support and love, but also an easy way to give back to us more than just saying, hey, here's money, which is...
I already know I'm rocking this the whole weekend for the land. So
I will be wearing clean clothes all weekend. That is my promise to you guys.
Yeah, for sure. So well, I mean, I'm gonna switch between the long sleeve and the hoodie and the t-shirt. There's one for each day, man. I'm not gonna be sitting here reeking up the place in the same t-shirt.
And man, it's your house. You do you. House rules. You know.
That's
I don't
fair.
want to know.
That's fair. Yeah, I'm sorry to tell you, but we actually enforce you must flip your shirt inside out twice before moving on to the next clothing piece.
That's gross. I'm not flip resetting my shirt, but what I am doing is showing you guys the leaderboard for day number 1. These are official. We've been obviously getting a bunch of people behind the scenes doing their absolute best to put up our times and official submissions, and as of right now, some pretty interesting names on here. A little bit of everything. We've got some amateur, semi-pro. Kokun, who took the number 1 spot from Hungary. That's what the HUN stands for. I'm sticking to it, even if it's not the truth.
I don't think
Kokun
it is,
but Kokun is a player. Also, Kevin, I think, is a 3 instead of the E, but, you know, what can you do?
No, it's an E.
It's K3HVN. I'm pretty sure it's Kevin.
I think he does it in Rocket League. It's KEV, but yeah,
Kevin, we're not going off your Twitch name. We're going off your real name. Deal with it, buddy.
Yeah, it's
with
a
it.
close contention on pack number 1. Where it gets interesting is later down the road, where we haven't seen as strong of a run from Kokon compared to Kevin. So Kevin does end up inching forward later on in training pack number 2. A couple honorable mentions below number 5. We have I believe Holax with a 219, Delcor with a 221, No Mansion with a 223, Cosmic, really good 1v1 player, 228. Royalis, we watched him quite a bit on day 1, 232. And then there's a gap between number 10 and number 11 to the 11th spot is 308. So there's definitely a huge advantage for the top 10 from training pack number 1. Qualifier pack number 2, so far that's verified. We have No Mansion with a 324, Royalis with a 331, Cosmic with a 338. I'm not sure if he has a new unverified run, but I will say that I believe Dongsku has a 303 for pack number 2 so far.
I saw 306 was in there as
Kevin.
well, but
yes,
but yeah,
Kevin,
it's like it's so competitive, man. Like I didn't expect, like we theorycrafted about a lot yesterday, Lethamyr, about like I think it was actually someone in chat that came in. It might have been Swaggles that I think actually proposed the question, and he was just like, yo, like, what was your guys' perspective, or what was your anticipation of who was going to take this? Was it going to be a 1v1 player? Was it going to be a speedrunner? Was it going to be in, like, we've seen a pretty good collective of both pro 1v1 proficiencies with like Cosmic. You've seen some semi-pros. You've seen some speedrunners. Like, I don't think there's any one player that's been like, hey, this demographic of player is dominant. Like, it has just been an individualistic, hey, show us what you got kind of mentality. And it's been very cutthroat. Like, it's so close.
And
like,
it's fun to watch because they're theory crafting with
insane.
like the chat and everything.
Insane.
It's really cool.
The
I want to
that they're
mention
taking are so different too. Like,
yeah, I want to mention. So with Kevin with a 212 on pack number 1, and then a 306, he is sitting at a 518 total right now. We have Dongsku with a 218 on the first one, and a 303 on the other one, which is a 521. 521.
303 and what did you say it was?
303 and 218. So he is at a 521. So it's a 3-second gap that Kevin has. So to win today,
oh man,
not only does Kevin have to stay ahead by 3 seconds, he also has to make sure no one else does like a phenomenal 10-second gap on him to jump past him because of pack 2 and 3 difference, or 1 and 2 difference wasn't big enough. So it's crazy that, and it really is up to like any of those top 10 players could probably stick it in there like on the last second, like a last second submission to tomorrow morning, and just take it. So
we've been joking. Who is it? Illuminous that put up a 12-hour training pack stream on the first day, and we're like, all right, buddy, like take some breaks, relax a little bit. Maybe not today. Maybe not today. If you're one of those that's trying to really min-max that time, like today's the last day, and it's crazy how fast it's gone by. Like, you and I are sitting here watching these packs at night. We're going through the reviews and the verifications with our staff behind. Also, massive shout outs to everybody in production and everybody behind the scenes putting in the work. It is greatly appreciated making this. I did not expect to have any of these verified runs like within the first few days, and we're just like, hey, here's already a leaderboard. So you guys are insane.
Shout out to Thundersurge. Shout out to Blocku, who's done a lot of work in speedrunning. Plamato, all 3 of them. Swaggles as well has helped a lot with all that stuff. Shark, Simple Shark. There's a lot of people behind the scenes that work on this stuff, help verify things. It's also cool to see them go for it as well, because they have other people verifying their runs. It's cool to see them kind of compete. There's some well-known names that are in the speedrunning community that have been playing in this tournament. Delcor hasn't had as strong of runs as he had. We talked about that before too. This is pack number 2. This is a run from Everjan. I don't know where was his spot here.
I know they put up a really good run in the first one, but right now we're kind of like scrolling through some stuff. This is, to my knowledge, like this is like top 10 capability. Again, you just never know, because we've seen the evolution of how people are submitting change. Like, people originally were like, okay, I'm just putting in my submission and then I'll just update it as time goes on. And now everybody's like, you know what? I'm gonna hold off. I'm gonna keep these strategies to myself because I don't want to leak any information about how to solve these. Which, to that I say, hey guys, they can just tune into your stream.
Yep.
But I understand, like, hey, I want to keep this in my back pocket if I'm late night grinding and stuff. And we've seen some of that as well, where some people will not stream the first couple hours. They'll get a feel for things, or they go the Kevin route. Kevin does his homework. He sits in back. He lets everybody do the hard work and the discovery on how to complete these things
instead of tiring himself out.
And then he goes into it. Yeah, it's everybody's got a different strategy, man. It's been interesting to see how it goes. And again, as Lethamyr said at the top of the show, it's a pilot, right? We're still trying to figure out how to refine and how to do. And again, I graciously ask, you know, the more you guys support, the more you guys play in these, even if you're watching people speedrun these and go, hey, I can't ever do that, there is ways to solve it in a much more simplistic way. It may not be the fastest way, but you can still challenge yourself to do it.
It's interesting,
playing
right?
in these events, man.
Yeah,
these are what tells Epic. Let's let them do it again.
So I think that the scale up from this, right, is you would have this kind of system in place for a shorter amount of time for everybody, each region. And it would be a different constructed pack per region so that they obviously don't have an advantage of looking at the other people playing it at the other regions. So that's an interesting idea there. Like, if we wanted to try this in a more compact way, 24 hours is already like a very small amount of time, but it's crazy to see the low numbers we're getting.
Dude,
over just one day of time. But we wanted to make this one 24 hours to be accessible to everybody, all regions. That way, at least there was some time of day where somebody could find time to do it, at least for a couple hours. Obviously, you have the people who are...
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. It's crazy to see how refined this is. And this is a 4 minute 17, I believe. So imagine this, but like a quarter of the time is just shaved off.
It is wild to see the level of proficiency that these people bring out in such a short amount of time. And I think that's part of the reason why we did it. Is originally we wanted to do, hey, one a week. But the reality is, one, that takes a lot of time. It's a lot of planning and stuff to spread things out that much. But I'm glad that we ended up switching it to 3 days. Well, even though it feels a little rushed, it does really test for consistency, which is what I always want to look for in Rocket League. As a coach, as someone who watches this at a high level, like, consistency is the number one thing everybody strives for. So what better way to say, hey, back to back to back, you've got to test not only time management, making sure that you don't get, you know, burnt out. You got to make sure that you're, you know, on the money. Like, you need to perform for the entire weekend. We talked yesterday to Cosmic about that. I'm like, hey man, compared to you competing in some of these events, you know, where you're playing in like a 1v1 ladder, like Salt Mine or something, what's it like doing this? And his response was hilarious, and I can't repeat it, but it was just, you can tell that it is hard. Like, it is an effort that is being put forth by these people. So I commend everybody that's signing up and playing and doing their thing. We appreciate it because it allows us to really go through this, what we've determined, like a litmus test of what is going to be the entry level of play that is kind of required to get a chance to go up against the pros and the content creators in the live event, which is really cool.
Shows that it requires a high level, because we are seeing people that we recognize. We see that it requires a lot of proficiency in movement, in control, in dribbling, in air dribbling, in flip resets in some moments as well, like at the fastest rates. So we were expecting to see a player of pretty high caliber, and so far it's been showing. But huge shout out to Everjam, who we're watching right now, because I'm sorry, but I've never heard of you, but you're keeping up there, man. You've kept up with every pack so far, so I'm excited to see how he does in pack number 3.
Like, I look at some of these players too, and I go, okay, you know what? Maybe you're not the 0.00001% we know from the RLCS or the pro community, right? But with that in mind, I'm like,
whoa,
hello, Ben.
I feel like I was in like a rave or something.
Yeah, like, what are we doing?
I was kind of vibing with that.
Like, I bet you Everjan's probably the best in his friend group by a long shot. Like, I'm sure there's some of those players that you don't really know about, but in their local scene, they're absolutely cracked, and rightfully so, which is a really cool thing to see. So being able to showcase that, and we're trying to do our best as well. For anybody who's watching, obviously make sure you join the Discord. These training packs will be live consistently even after. So if you want to, they're on the speedrun.com website. You can test out those training packs from now until whenever. The other cool thing about it as well is that Discord, if you guys want to be featured on stream today, make sure you put in your stream in the stream link area, and that way we can showcase and see you guys going through thanovics. With that in mind,
if you are new to the streams too, and you want to check out the pack, there we have Xmas Apex, which will get you a lot of info for where to join and check out the packs. I just dropped the code in the chat, but obviously that's going to scroll by at some point. So definitely join the Discord and check it out. You can also just help with submitting different ideas for us for the for the main event. We kind of want to involve you guys and get your ideas on what you guys want to see these pros do, like whether it's a chess tournament or whatever. Give your ideas. We'll see if it's possible. There's been some chatter a little bit about us potentially having a camera that you guys can operate. in some way. That could be kind of fun, where it like moves around based on the inputs, like
just
from you guys.
Zooming in way too close on people, like
it just like it just tracks somebody because someone. Oh, my camera almost it just flickered like it was gonna start tracking my head again.
Like
so
I'm thinking if we so like we're gonna have obviously the area where we are commentating from and all that kind of stuff, but during like breaks and stuff, we obviously want to showcase the entire area, people hanging out, playing billiards, whatever they're doing. Maybe that camera, if we set it up correctly, could be the one that they mess with, where if they want to pan a certain way or zoom in or, you know, see whatever they're doing, that could be a good one to control potentially. We'll see. We'll have to test some things out, but again, we'll after everything is done, after we, you know, wrap up qualifiers and stuff, we'll have a couple weeks to you know, figure out final details and everything. And during that time, very likely in the Discord, we'll put up a suggestion channel. So if you guys want to put in your opinions, content pieces that you think would be good. What do you mean?
That disappeared right before it went in the net. That's tough.
Oh, this
is
a couple seconds too.
Sorry to cut you off, but this is Cosmic's 338 run. Just wanted to mention that to you guys. So right now, as far as the verifications go, this is number 3 on the list. But like we said, I trust that Kevin's run and Donksku's run, they did not do anything nefarious, and those are going to be very fast runs that are going to take the podium. So these are still very impressive.
Right? Do you take risk or do you do it for consistency? You know, I both said, hey, put down a consistent run, go the safe strat, put up a good stable time, and then try to cut time off. And from what it seems like, most people are only able to complete those runs. People haven't been able to put together a like super fast cheese strat type across the board. It's just been too difficult to tie it all together at once.
Well, you're seeing him he's reset quite a few times here just to set up like a better run for himself. And this is just how it's just the drill nature of training packs like this when you're trying to speedrun, where he goes for a sharper angle. This is what we talked about, where you can go around the pillar on the left side, and that is faster because you're laterally going towards the net much quicker.
Yep, doesn't one time that shot, lets it settle, which consistency wise makes sense.
Yep.
A lot of people like in the Donksku run that I watched earlier and stuff too, like finally stopped falling to the I'm moving forward thing.
Oh, he goes this way. I mean, it does. I funny enough, I mean, I saw Donksku going for that like cheat around the right side. It usually misdirects the ball.
Wow, he actually gets that.
He gets that one. It's really nice. Nice pillar bounce. I think that the proof of concept is definitely here for training packs to be a very viable like way to test skill, because these and shout out to Waitin on this pack. If you guys didn't know, we had 3 creators, Linkaroo, Waitin, and Thanovic create the packs for these. Huge shout out to the 3 of them. We're gonna be joining with Thanovic in a little bit, probably about 7 minutes to chat about the new pack once we're done watching these. And it's just really cool to see how they constructed these packs to make it so that it will highlight high-level skill. It will showcase, you know, ways to efficiently cut time in a manner that requires, you know, very, very high intense skill and precision. It's just really, really cool that we've turned something so simple like a training pack, which is used to just do redirect shots most of the time, saves, just basic saves. We've turned it into this thing that is like, you have to be perfect. You have to half flip in these situations. You have to time your flips, like very, very tight angles. It's really cool to see that you can create something very complicated and also just fun to try. Like it's cool even if you're not as high of a level player. I think it's worth giving it a go and just seeing how you stack up against a high level player. I think it will showcase a relative comparative skill.
Yeah, it reminds me of like there's like a DreamHack. Depending on what DreamHack or event you go to, they'll do like the bouncy castle obstacle course thing outside. It kind of reminds me of that, where it's like there's something about it that just entices me. Like even though I'm a grown man, I still want to try it. I still want to compete against my buddy in it, which is really fun. But I think it embodies the persona of like what pros go through on a day-to-day basis, right? Like not only is it under time restraint, there's a lot of pressure on the line, there's a lot of weight to it, but it also has that enticement of, hey man, like I want to put my best foot forward, because not only is it something different and it's challenging and it's fun, but yeah, there's a lot of stress with it. It's not an easy thing to do.
You can see very consistent with Cosmic here. Like a lot of things are very consistent with his touches.
Does he double it? No,
he doesn't, but he's gonna keep this up because it's worth doing. It's way more time to reset. But you can see he's very consistent, but the consistency still has a couple errors there, here and there, and that is what led him to a 338. We've got Who is this? This is
this is Royalis.
Oh, it's Royalis. Yeah. So he's been
on
pretty
the
competitive
webcam for us, but like what a G.
He's got he didn't have the webcam on the first day. I love the webcam vibes.
Again, people one of two strats. They either try to back away from it and have it pop out in front of them, or they tap it and drive around. I think letting it come to you is a little bit easier because then you're just going reverse. The other one you got to like go over the lip of the ramp, which is really awkward. Getting the fast strat on that one, trying to time it with the bounce. I did see a really good strategy where someone just pre-jumped and floated, waiting for it to pop out naturally as well. But oh god, you see his reaction there too. He's just like, man, it was a good shot, just bar down, just barely out. Yeah, and I expect just a 1.
And this is a 331, but he's on the verified list right now. He's number 2. I do want to mention that we do have a couple other runs. No Mansion is the 324 run that is currently the verified number 1, but it will be Kevin and Dongsky with those crazy 303 and 306s that
assuming they get verified. Those could be even faster potentially, because again, that's just what they have for their timestamp. When we verify from start to finish, it may shave. Like we may see like a true like 3-minute run. Like you just never know based on
how they timed it.
Yeah.
Great finish. And huge appreciation to all the players who are competing actively.
Yeah.
Like it takes a lot of dedication to run something like this repetitively over and over again. So it's really cool to see that they are committing to it and you know, sort of embracing this new change in format.
I mean, for a lot of them, it's got to be pretty exciting though. It's just something different to do as well. I mean, you can kind of speak to that as a pro. Like, obviously, you're enticed to play, and I will say, like, as someone who's only gotten to do it a minimal amount of times, scrims and playing in a competitive 3v3 is probably the most fun I've ever had playing Rocket League.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe that's just me, who's, you know, a pretty competitive person overall. But after a certain point, you know, doing that every day for how many hours a day, like, yeah, it gets, you know, it's nice to mix it up every once in a while. So having something that we talked about yesterday that comes in and you go, you know what, I'm pretty good at this game, but this is tough. Like, this is making me think about how I approach this again. Has got to be a good feeling as a pro where, you know, everything usually comes pretty easy for you because of how good you are in the, I mean, what, like you said, 17,000 hours or whatever you have in this game?
Yep. I was also going to say,
doesn't
like,
even bat an eye at that number, which is crazy.
And maybe some of them don't want to do this because they can't blame anybody but themselves. If they don't beat someone who's a speedrunner.
I mean, we heard it from Fairy Peak yesterday. It's just that level of respect that is given to some of the people competing too. Like, he knows some of the names like Donsku and stuff where he's just like, oh yeah, I can't. Like, there's no way. So
that's why it's even extra respect to the people who do still try to compete and be part of this. Like, Everjan got featured each day just with crazy runs. So I mean, I love the format. We get to see new names you would never see before. Like, most of the time it's just Vitality, you know, beating up some 15-year-olds that have just touched the game for the first time, and now we're seeing players that you would never have seen showcased in a sort of competitive scenario like this. It's great to have a variety of players.
Yeah, I'm excited to as we're going through again. This is training pack number 2. We'll be jumping into training pack 3. We just want to give people a little bit of time to get familiar with it. But as we go through, this is No Mansion's run. He's currently he's the number 1 spot, I think, verified, correct?
Yes, he's a 3. He is at a 324. So this is 7 seconds faster than Royalis. Let me refresh to make sure.
Yeah,
okay. So
exclamation point. If you guys want to see exclamation point leaderboard in the chat, clicking that link. Speaking of which, Leth, if you want to go accept my knock.
Oh, sure.
So he is 324. He's number 2 in the verified leaderboard. Illuminous did come back with a 315. Good for him, man.
Yeah, 315 is great. So I mean, he's got 315 on the second pack, and on the first pack he was in 4th place with a 215. So he's in the running too. He needs to have like a banger run in this final one, like, to make it, and he knows that. He's gonna look at the leaderboard once it's fully filled out. It's gonna be filling out as we go here. People are like, Plamato is working super hard behind the scenes. I believe our production was also working hard each night here trying to help. Shout out Ben. So he knows he has to cut a lot of time, shave a lot of time this final one. It's going to be, you know, game time for him to make the final spot. So there's a bit of a cushion for like Kevin and Dongsku, but still Dongsku has to work to get that 3-second deficit up.
We say that right. It's a bit of a cushion, but is it really a cushion when the person right behind you like is make or break for you qualifying or not? So it's like it doesn't.
It's
feel
one
like
spot.
it.
Yeah, I know it's one spot. So it's crazy.
Crazy. We do have 2 front runners, but as you and I have both seen throughout, like sure we've got some competitors that are really good, but maybe they're just not feeling it today. You know, they have a little bit of an off day. Stuff like that happens.
Or they grinded too much on number 1 and 2, right? Like if they put too much time and effort.
You may find someone that just really meshes with Thanovic's pack. You never know, man.
Yeah, they just nail it right away. We will have to see. I mean, this is the cool thing about this format is it's not just a one and done. It's not like you got a fluke run. You have to be consistently good at 3 packs. Like everyone can get that fluke run once in a while where they get like a crazy appearance, and that's great. But can you do it 2 more times? That is kind of the idea.
Yeah, I think again, all these packs, like I'm very happy, and again, we can't thank them enough. What a recovery! Cannot thank Wait and Thanovic and Linkaru enough on these. Just because like seeing 3 different mentalities approach how to make a custom pack makes a big difference. If like it was just me or Leth making every single one, I think you might have seen too many similarities, but there is drastically different approaches and
speaking
like
of,
feelings.
Speaking
and
of
vibes.
drastically different approaches, you see him, he waited on that one. He let the ball pop out of the pillar. He didn't even want to try the method of popping the ball out because technically if you reset once, you're already slower than the ball popping out of the pillar. So I think he just decided he's on a good run right now. Let's just do the consistent choice.
Yeah,
and honestly, with a 315, that's a pretty good run. He's in the top contention.
I mean, I think that's part of it too. Is like I think the benefit of them playing and going for the consistent thing is maybe that's also the strategy. Like No Mansion is fully capable of putting up a top run. Like when tracking in with some of the other guys earlier this morning, we're just saying like, yeah, I just gotta lock in. You know, he's like, I'm fully capable of doing like this in sub 3. I just need to have that run. And it's like now that No Mansion's in the running, like he is 100% within striking range of winning this whole thing. Now he can put his all on the line for the 3rd and final one and really put up a ridiculous run potentially. So
that was a great run.
I think there's some cool things that they could do, man.
Now currently this is the number 1 verified run. This is a Luminous with a 3. Oh no, Holax is now confirmed as well. It's a 315 from Illuminous. Holax just got verified at 306 as well.
Wow.
So Holax in the first pack was 219. So he has a 525 total time. It is so close. Like
where's so Holax has a number 6 run.
Yep.
On pack 2, number 1 on again. We talked about that. Like it is the sum of parts. So you got to show it to
he's
us
at a
on every single
525.
pack. That's a huge makeup, dude. That is insane.
The current lead right now is 518 total time, and Holax is at a 525. He's only 7 seconds behind. Dongsku's at 521. So we have a 521, a 525, and a 518. Like that is so close. It really could come down to, and especially with the differences in the packs, right? Like Holax is Holax is 1 second behind Dongsku on pack 1, so they're like neck and neck. Dongsku had a slightly better performance in pack number 2 to give him like 3 extra seconds. It's just crazy how close this is. All right, is he gonna do the post? He does do the pole bounce. He goes behind the pillar though.
Yeah.
I'm really excited to see the 303 because that is crazy pace.
I want to know like where he makes up time. Like I don't know what the little things he's done to like
just a couple
really
resets here and there, I think.
Yeah. Here's a clean double.
Nicely done.
Yeah. Seems like everybody's going to the more consistent. They're not trying to rush into that, rightfully so. Oh
Ooh.
man.
I honestly think it's safer to hit that reset right at the very start because the timing is weird when you jump into the pack or into that shot.
Yeah, I think as soon as that, you just do it and then you make sure you're ready to go.
You like my water bottle today? It is gigantic.
Good man. Stay hydrated, everybody.
I need it.
Nice recovery on that.
He goes for the pop.
See, I like that strategy because not only does it force it out faster, but he still cuts the inside, which is quicker. Because we saw yesterday a lot of people were hitting it around that pillar off sidewall and then bringing it in with an air dribble. But the direct approach is the way to go.
Ooh, nice catch. That was actually a really clean ramp touch because usually it looks really close. But that one was like really far out. Slow here, but still good pace.
Does he one time? Nice. And then this last two, he should be able to on the dot.
Yep.
He doesn't catch to it on that because you can hit it before it hits that pillar, but then this one is so clean as a shot.
Look at that.
That's so clean.
Crazy, man.
Well done, man.
Well done. That's a really good run. So yeah, like we said, this is a 525 total from Illuminous so far. That was a 315 on this one. The other one was a 2. Is that right? Oh no, 27. Am I wrong? I think I miscalculated.
I've learned as a caster to not do math on stream. It's a bad idea.
Oh, it's 215 and 315. So he is at a 530. So that's pretty dang good. Holax was the one that was the 525.
Yeah. Yep.
So
crazy stuff. Again, massive shout outs to everybody competing in these, but we've got to start talking about what is today, which is qualifier number 3. We can't do that without the man we brought out of retirement to make those training packs. We're bringing on Thanovic to the stream. First and foremost, man, number 1, thank you for taking the time to not only make the pack, and number 2, for joining us on broadcast. I have to ask out of the gate, how did you manage to be enticed enough to say, you know what, I'll reinstall, I'll boot it up, I'll make the pack? Because it's, again, we can't thank you enough for doing it, brother.
First off, thank you so much for having me. I'll be very honest. It was like, it popped up and I was like, oh, it's a really cool idea. And then it was a message from both of you guys to be like, oh, it'd be really cool to see like these 3 guys. And I was like, oh, I can't let Leth and Lola down. So I was like,
oh, no.
I'll do it.
Yeah, it works.
I ran around my house. I was like, where's my controller? And I was like, oh my God, I got into the game, got into free play, and I was like, I can't do this. It's over. Like, so I spent about an hour in free play just trying to re-warm up. But yeah,
that's the thing too. You took a break since like March, which means you kind of had to have a level of skill where you felt comfortable making a pack that is competitive like this. Like, how did you have to grind for a little bit? Did you go in ranked for a week, or what? Like, what happened?
I was just like kind of nervous. I ended up watching a bunch of videos in the past where people have made like those trick packs, like stuff like from Whiten. I've done one in the past. Like a bunch of people have done them, but I was like,
you did one as revenge, right? Like against Whiten.
Yeah, on Whiten for doing it to me. Yeah,
totally fair.
So I essentially watched all those back, and you'll probably see, like, because I was at the point where I was like, I can't test my pack all that well because I'm not like anywhere near as good as I was at one point. So I was like, I'll just do stuff that I've used in the past or I've seen people use in the past. So you might see some stuff from 2 years ago if you watched like some of Whiten's videos.
That's cool. That's really cool.
At the same time, I think it's cool to see like a culmination of like, it almost feels like you're embodying a little bit of everybody because you went back and did like the research of stuff, and I think people are still trying to find the optimal way. Like, I had such a hard time of getting that one to pop out perfectly, to where like I was always having to land on that corner and then chase it. But like these guys already it's been 38 minutes are already finding optimal strategies to pop this one out. And the first time I can tell you, like, I was so happy that I was like, all right, I can hit this, and I slammed it into the blue net. I'm like, wait, it's not gonna go to the other side.
I already love that shot because of the accuracy you need. I think that light on the floor is. Did you use that light on the floor of the ramp at all for like a reference of where you need to drive? Because that seems like a good method to kind of look at where your wheel goes on the ramp.
Yep. Yeah, like. Obviously, like, I was kind of like, oh, I know that if I have like an easy way of doing it, someone that's good at the game is going to find like a really good way of doing it. So I was like, if I make it somewhat challenging for me, at least
tough.
No, I think
someone's going to be able to slam it.
I love how both Thanovic and Wayne both have one that makes them dizzy. Like, his goes in circles and you got to chase it. Yours goes back and forth and you're staring at it and you're like, I hate this.
I think this one is such a time waste if you don't get it first try that I think it's actually maybe more worth.
The thing is, is even with the touch to control it, you have to double it. And if you time it right, you can pinch it off that right wall.
That's why I think the right wall is better, just going to the ramp, right? Oh, this one's a great one because you go like, yeah. I see the vision. Thanovic, I haven't tried these yet. So this is my first time seeing everything as well.
Yeah, what's your reaction to, man?
I love it so far. I'm seeing like a lot of creative differences. Like, I think Pillars was a great choice, by the way. Good job on that pick because
this one's so hard. By the way,
it's a unique shape. There's so many interesting like geometry kind of thing. What?
Yeah,
that?
it double clips through the wall.
Like-
I didn't think it was possible, and then I was able to recreate it enough times, so I'm like, all right, we'll keep it.
That's
Yeah, you can. I remember accidentally doing it, and I was like, if you get it the right, am I supposed to?
he's
Yeah,
trying
go
to
ahead,
figure
go
out.
ahead.
Maybe I
If you
don't
want to
speak.
provide insight, go ahead.
No,
man.
go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, I mean, he got it. Like that. It can ping off that far pillar, and like if it goes up, yeah, like that. Yeah, some like if you can slam it,
Oh, you can kind of like let it like float too.
Mm-hmm.
and it pings off that pillar, and then you can like work with that.
So I think
But that was like a full accident for me.
You know what's really cool about this? Because you utilize the pillars so much. That would be a tilting run under right there, by the way, if you just saw that. It's really interesting because I don't know if you were hearing any of the broadcasts, but we have a combined time of 5:18 as the front runner. The next place is 5:21.
Wow.
So there's a 3-second difference.
Oh, it's close.
It's very close. And so what I'm interested in is because there's so much of this like unique pillar geometry going on that like it really could come down to the ball didn't pop out one time. Like if the ball doesn't pop out properly
Yeah.
one time, that is a run changer for people. The next place after 5:21, I think is a 5:25 and then a 5:30. There might be a couple other verified runs that are coming in later that will change the podium so far, but it is a like between the top 5 currently, there's only 12 seconds of time.
Wow, that's kind of scary. Like, and
How does it feel to have that
I don't wanna
power
be-
in your hands? You have the power.
Yeah, now
like-
I'm like terrified because I know how many of these is like, oh, just getting such a slight wrong touch and that's it. So I'm like, now I feel bad.
That's kind of the perfect scenario, though. I feel. Like, I don't know if you agree, Lawler.
Yeah, I think again, a lot of these I know I sent you guys feedback, and some of them had a lot more. Yours was actually the one I had to limit the least.
Oh, this
Like,
one's so troll. Look at this.
yeah, this is one I think you might have changed. No, this one's normal.
This one hasn't changed.
No, this one's
That's-
normal. Yeah, from the
Yeah,
original. I was like,
there's a
there's enough
few,
time to
yeah.
catch it. It's just how you want like the risk to be. Like, do you want to pinch it off that wall and try to go elsewhere? Do you want to? That is on you. But there was a couple of these, like I mostly left your shots alone because they were all doable, except for like, hey, let's give us a little bit bigger margin for people that can't perfectly speedrun around that lip of that corner or can't do this certain thing. But they are truly puzzles, man. They are puzzles. Like there is specific ways to answer some of these and do them optimally. Like this one, I hated this one with my entire being.
I think it's great.
Yeah.
I think it's great.
I hated it so much.
See, the thing is, this is really testing players because
Before you had to speed flip to hit it, and like, dude, it was the worst. I hated it so much.
shout out to Thanovic, but also can we do a special shout out to just Rocket League for accidentally bugging the heck out of like custom training, because it wasn't designed in this way. If you go into a regular standard map, the ball is very tightly confined to every surface. So the fact that you can just throw a ball through like pillars, I think is hilarious to me. Like there's so many things you can do with it. And you honestly excelled because this is really great to see. This is game time. He has a few good runs from the last 2 packs.
Yeah.
I think he pulled out like a 7-minute and
Yeah, he's been
and-
like a top 15, top 20 runner. Like, he's champ 2, he said to us, and he's like, you know what? I know I'm not going to be competitive in these, but I've been having so much fun. He's like, with my community, just being able to hang out and like do these together and stuff
That's a great strat.
has been a blast. So it is cool to see like all skill levels. We actually, this is the one that Lethamyr, when we did that video where you're like,
Yep.
hey, off the ceiling, exact same thing, by the way. If you land, you
Yep.
can control it, and
Yep.
nice, well done.
It was
Yeah, he's
crazy
had
that
the
I
ball
ended up
should
replicating one
Yeah.
of them in
Yeah.
my pack. I actually didn't realize that because of the way that I was driving into it, I was hitting it rather than driving on the surface. Like when you're upside
Yeah.
down, it interacts differently with the ball. Because whenever I was hitting it with my roof towards the ceiling, it would actually just send the ball down to the floor, which is really interesting. I think it must have to do with the wheels or something.
I also didn't test any of this on a non-octane body. I fully forgot you can change cars.
Well, actually, I don't know if
And I'm
if
realizing,
you've
like,
noticed, but on pack 1, the optimal strat was to switch to Dominus. I don't think any of you did.
Really?
Yeah,
Mhm.
Dominus was like one of them like pops really awkwardly off the octane, but it saves like 2 to 3 seconds on Dominus because of the way that the ball just like hits the pillar and comes back to you. So everyone switched to Dominus
Wow.
pretty much.
Which we had no idea. Like, again, I'm an octane player as well, so I was just like, I didn't even think about like, oh, you're right, the little bit longer shape might be one of those that comes into play. But
Like this one, like
Again,
it's
of
easier to
course.
reach because
Yeah.
look how fast it pops out when you just drive straight. So
yep.
it's really interesting. I love the variety.
Hey,
And the
shoutouts to that. If you want to give some love to that person in chat for you.
Oh, yeah, Kang. Thanks for the how many? Oh my God, what the heck?
I don't know. I just see a wall.
Holy,
of
20
gifted
gifted subs. He sent 5 earlier, and I thanked him in the chat because I didn't want to like distract everybody. But dude,
I think
thanks
for
so
20
much.
Gifted, that's
huge.
definitely a round of applause,
Thank you so
man.
much.
Appreciate
That's
you.
going right into the Apex pool. Not prize pool, just to kind of recoup our finances.
I don't want to talk about it, man. That has been a like I'm gonna take that and put it over here and deal with it later type of thing.
I sent over a spreadsheet of catering for Lawler, and I think he probably had a heart attack just seeing just 2 of the days of lunch.
No, it's just it is going to be. Please buy merch.
Yeah.
For the record, for the record, we have about, I think the running total right now is around 28 people, 28 to 30 coming to the house.
Oh.
Yeah.
So it is a full on LAN party. That's kind of what we wanted. We want it to be busy. We want it to be fun. Obviously, Thanovic, if you have the time, if you want to fly out. I know it's so far, but
it's in a few weeks, and
flights will be like an arm and a leg and a mortgage. But
yeah, let me.
Yeah, it's crazy. My camera just did the thing again. I wonder if I do like maybe it's like this. Like, how do I? Is it like this? I think it's like some movement. I don't know if you saw Thanovic, but we put on a clip on Twitter where my camera just.
Appreciate you, brother.
My camera just chased me around the room.
elongate?
It tracks me. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
wait, it's so good.
It's a funny camera. It's called the Osbot. It's like really, really clean. It's a great option instead of like the DSLR. But anyway, it has a mind of its own. This one's like one of the easier ones, right?
It's deceptive though. Like there's one like this one where it pops so high that you're like, okay, I just gotta pre-jump and I'll hit it, and then it's like a change up. It's so slow that you're like, I have so much time to do it. Again, they'll catch you off guard, man.
Yeah, I remember while making a decent few was like, I need to make it easy because it's the first few, but like, one of those things like if you miss it, that's like a time sink, but it's just like a little dribble or a little, just a shot.
Yeah, I like how awkward this one is bouncing off the wall a little bit.
That's the one that the first time I did it, I slammed it off the post.
It looks like it's gonna just fall nicely in front, right? Because the angled walls are deceptive.
Yeah, which is ironic because I ended up doing that in the in my training pack as well. In that first one where it just kind of lobs up high, it does kind of the same thing where the angle's a little bit awkward.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but is this the first time you've made a training pack where it's in pillars? Because I know you've done a couple training packs. Is this the first time messing with this map?
Yes, I believe so.
Is that what kind of captivated you? You didn't want to do something like you've already done before, or is it just the strats you could come up with? I was just curious what drew you to this one.
I knew going in, I would have to play it kind of make a bunch of like weird shots, like using
some sort of
obviously using the pillars.
Yeah.
I've like played on pillars a bunch for like purely training reasons, but so I had like some familiarity with that, but it was very much like, oh, let me just like, it has fun walls, like compared to a lot of maps, all of its walls are like, it's curved the entire time, so any sort of pinches or any sort of like touches are going to be slightly more awkward. So it was purely just to see if I can mess with people a bit more.
Right. Yeah, 100%.
I think any sort of skill.
Everybody wants just the perfect, like, subtlest little touch on this, and then they don't get to it in time. It's so troll.
Well, you're seeing like all 3 packs utilize some sort of like non-convex geometry where it's like it's not just an open field. There's something in the middle that you can play around with that can either disrupt the line towards the ball, between the ball and the net. Like that's the thing about Waiting and Linkeroo's pack is that the pillar tended to get in the way, and these ones are huge pillars that you have to fully dribble around now because you can put them in such awkward spots in those back corners where they have to go the full way, and they also have to decide whether they want to go down the middle lane or around the edge. So it really depends on how the ball pops out of the pillar.
Yeah, 100%. It's also like there's that thing if you could, someone it's like, oh, you can probably cut it, but there's a safe option. It's just a safe option. Like you got to work with a pillar and like going around it.
100%, yeah. And we're noticing that some people are getting fast runs just from the fact that they're using the safer options.
Unofficial proof of concept submission 554 from Everjam already
so far. So you might have the longest
Ow.
pack, Thanovic. I mean, we'll have to see because that was close. I think it was like.
Well, it's proof of concept. I don't think it's speedrun strat. I think that's just them saying, "Hey,
I love
this
that
is a
though.
quick first try run. This is the standard. Good luck."
You guys incidentally made it like so that like the first pack was the fastest pack, the second pack was like slightly longer, and then the last pack was even longer, which I think is great because it's like that pressure you have. You have to now perform for maybe upwards of 4 minutes on this one.
That's rough. See, I was watching Whiten's pack over, and to me, that looked like I would tilt. I could see myself tilting so many times. I was like, man, the mentality would be like, no, I'll keep going, and just like keep at it and keep at it. Like that would, ooh,
Nice.
watching those shots got me.
The thing is, he built that one, you built this one, so you might know the strat you kind of purposely put in place for those. So it's like, what? He just kept bouncing between the corner of the goal.
I commend him for trying to keep it alive, but like just playing a little bit of like racquetball here, like to himself. Like
We saw Astros like do a couple like interesting strats yesterday too with Waiton's pack.
Yeah, I'm curious on who's gonna take our like highlight of the day as well by Thrustmaster, because yesterday we just had to give love to. I don't know if you saw that that clip on Twitter, Thanovic, but there's a redirect off the pillar where you can technically backflip diagonally and hit a redirect when it bounces off. He decided instead to jump into the wall, pogo off, and then one time redirected off the pogo off the wall bounce. And we're like,
wow,
what are you doing? And I'm like, dude, now he's got to try to recreate that. And then like 2 attempts later, he hits him back to back. I'm like, all right, forget what I was saying.
Oh.
Yeah, people are crazy, man.
It's just insane how efficient people get so quickly with these because they're only open for 24 hours. I mean, the packs will always exist, and we have like a whole speedrunning.com or speedrun.com segment for the Apex. But it's crazy just how quick it already is. Like, I could see people fighting to even, get close to the world record over a longer period of time because people that are dedicated to these over this whole day have pulled out insane strats that cut so much time. And it's just interesting to watch. Like, here's Illuminous, who is currently in the running. I think he has a total of 530. So he is around 5th place total right now. He has to catch up by 12 seconds to be in line with Kevin. But then also be ahead of Kevin on this one. So
this one's going to frustrate a lot of people.
Yep.
Man.
And I do wonder if that. I mean, that's
I'm
a
curious
good
on
thing.
people's strats on this one because this one frustrated me a little bit initially because I can't speed flip to the right well.
Ooh. This
I'm
is
so
quite a lot of
curious
time
how
if you just
people do
wait,
this
though,
one.
right?
Yeah. So this was one that was like very precise on the timing. And it got, I think, an extra second potentially.
Yeah, I got an extra second.
Yeah.
I think that's
Like,
good
I think
because
I
it's
found
still
one
tough.
way to do it.
Yeah.
Yep.
We want a variety because, when it comes down to these runs, it really might come down to half a second, quarter of a second. So even though it's a lot more freedom on the shot, being the fastest is still advantageous. So it kind of already presents itself as a faster timer just in your own head. Because you could leave that to be a 15-second timer. If someone wants to just drive without boosting, they could. They could drive up to it.
So
but
like this one, he's just driving boosting up, but you can quick aerial up to that wall and save a little bit of time. But the approach is so awkward when you do. Yeah.
Man, I'm already seeing like, why didn't I think of it? Like,
Thanovic, your
the
run
one
is a
thing
lot
I've
more
seen-
similar to mine. I'm just gonna put it out there.
Yeah. The one thing I've seen that everyone I've seen do it now has already done it differently. You know the one where you start in front of it and it's stationary behind you and they just drive around it? In my head when I build it, I was like, this is going to be so good. They're going to have to like
Backflip and-
drive backwards,
Yeah.
catch it. Yeah, like drive forwards to like restabilize it. Every single person has just gone around. I'm like, no. Oh, well.
That's good though. It's interesting that like you have like this is gonna be the case for any game developer, right? Like when you make something and you're like, a lot of game developers know now, like when they built Elden Ring, they're like, well, we know speedrunners are gonna come at this game and try to like pick it apart and really dissect it. They didn't plan for the game to be able to be finished in 10 seconds or whatever it is. Like Super Mario Bros. I think there's Super Mario Bros. 3 could be completed in 0.2 seconds by task because of like the inputs that like just make the game code just go, yep, game's done. I guess we're on the title screen or the end screen. So
Yeah, like they know where like the way that it stores information. So the hex code or whatever it is, they just manipulate and then preload things in that they want, and it's just
We've had to do that
Done.
with like custom training, like custom map training, stuff like that in this game too, where you can't really track in maps like that I've built where you have a timer on screen. That's actually to do with your internal CPU clock. So technically, it does not line up with other computers. So instead, we use frame rules.
Doing, bro?
So I don't know if Thanovic, have you ever finished like one of those like Jadek packs, like the dribble challenge, or you've seen people do them, where at the end there's that string of like white numbers that show up. I don't. Yeah, that's each of those is like the number of frames that have gone by per level, so they can track like how long the frames have lasted. Because if there's any trip ups of the CPU, it doesn't line up easily with speedrunning. So it's really cool they do that. Oh, so Luminous is already like getting pretty good rhythm here.
Yeah.
You guys did see that Musty earlier, right?
I don't know if I did. Was it from him here?
Yeah, he caught it. I think he was got a reset or something. Mustied it off the side wall. Caught it again. He missed, unfortunately, but like it was cool up until that point.
I've been there.
There was one shot from Waiton's pack where it shoots towards a pillar. It was actually the highlight yesterday, the Thrustmaster highlight, where it was C. Schwitzer, who I don't think had like a super competitive time. We'll have to see.
That was the pillar one I was telling you about, Thanovic. C. Schwitzer or whatever, where he like bounced off the pillar. Just unbelievable.
C. Schwitzer actually had a 438, so pretty good run from him on the first pack. I don't think he has a confirmed or verified time for part 2, but yeah, he was definitely theorycrafting in a way that we never would have expected. I kind of want to like send a clip over to Waiton and just see what he says, like reacts to that. Be like, how the heck? Like he didn't. I'm sure he didn't plan for that. Although he might play it off cool and be like, yeah, that's how I did it. I planned that. That's what I wanted to do.
No, I've seen him set up that shot, and he always does the backflip 180. Like he's notorious for those like mid-air movement stuff. It's like a staple for Waiton's packs. It always has been. Out of curiosity, we get some questions from chat as well. Bean Producer's asking, hey, who are you guys most excited to hang out with at the event? Mine would be Thanovic if he shows up. That's my answer.
That's I mean that's
no,
like
no pressure.
It's like a what? It's Canada, right?
Yeah.
So it's about a $4,000 flight. I gotta get work off in 2 weeks. Doable, but financially
I know.
straining.
It is an investment. So I don't blame you for not coming because it is a lot. We are trying to get. I think Swaggle said he could come for the broadcast days, which is super cool. It might be just the 7th and 8th, but would love to get his insight on likes. Oh, I don't know if I've told you. I might have sent a couple photos that we can't share, but of the actual Apex arena background for all the maps. We've been designing like a background that will basically import all 12 custom maps into. And it wasn't gonna happen, but Swaggle's like, we should do this. I'm like, okay, I guess here we go. And we've been grinding for the last I think about like a month or so, just kind of putting pieces together here and there. And the final product, I will say, is probably one of my proudest looks.
Nice.
What?
I am going to interrupt this to say very quickly, go Pack Go. That's all I gotta say. All right. Anyway, back to the training
did
packs.
something happen?
They missed the field goal. We won. Let's go.
That's so funny. Man's got the sports on the other monitor.
No, I got a live update on my phone being like field goal missed. I was like, yes. Like my phone lit up. I'm like, oh, this could be important for the Apex. It is.
So Kevin on screen here is the current front runner by 3 seconds, give or take. So I'm excited
Of the whole thing.
Of the whole thing. He's currently 518 total. So the two party of interest that we're looking at right now is Kevin, who's a semi-pro in NA, and Dongsku, who I don't know where he's from. I think you said he's Finnish. Lawler.
Yes. Donsku is Finnish.
Yeah. So from across the globe, these two are battling it out individually. It's kind of cool. And then also, like, I've stepped into both of their channels a little bit, and you know, I see their chatters like talking about strats each of them are doing. It's kind of like screen peeking, but for like they're doing like reconnaissance, like recon between the two streams. Like they're doing this on shot 10.
Nice.
It's kind of funny that they're talking amongst each other, and I see them kind of step into each other's stream once in a while.
I feel like this shot's gonna be.
It's gonna be a run breaker, dude. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah.
Like, we've seen. So I don't know how much you've been able to pay attention. I know you were watching people do Waiton's run and stuff yesterday, but there is some people that have said like the approach has been because you have to start with shot 1. That's the requirement, part of the rules. But then people will go in like reverse order. And we saw people purposely do that in the first one because the last like 4 or 5 shots are just routine. It's just bang, 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 bang. They go in, you're good.
Right.
You know, it's easy work. So they want to say, okay, the first part of my run is like quick succession. It's out of the way. And now my run hinges on if I land that really tough shot or the pillar shot or, you know, whatever it is that's done.
Yeah.
In this, I'm very interested to see on if people find a way, because shot 20 seems to be the shot. Every pack has one of those shots that's just like, Thanovic was not, I think, on the chopping block for that, but he might be now. But Linkru 100% because he loves it is just like, kind of hate him now. And he's like, yes, thank you. I can't wait to put you in a YouTube video. You know, like that's Linkru's personality. So it's
yeah. Whenever we would mention, like, he'd be on broadcast with us. Every time we'd mention like, oh, this guy's struggling with this pack, this shot, I see a little smirk come up from the side of his mouth. Like he loved it. Loved
So
hearing
evil.
the pain and suffering.
It's so good.
This one I think might cause some problems for some people too.
Yeah, this one, when I first made it, this is one that I was like, I actually wonder if it's possible. I think I did it accidentally and couldn't recreate it. And so I had to keep like moving the ball like ever so slightly until I could get it over and over again.
Oh, so there was a much more evil version of this in the past. Is what
there was.
Yes.
Okay.
Like, even then,
I'm
this
telling you, Leth,
yeah.
out of all the shots, I'm like, I can do all of these, no issues. But this one, very precise. You have to perfectly speed flip and cancel and get the right touch, and then make sure your recovery is just so perfect so you can get underneath it. Otherwise, you're throwing yourself into the back of the net and you can't recover in time. Like, it was infuriating. And I'm like, guys, I love this shot because it gave me something to work towards, but we can't do this to the people. Like, we can't.
Actually, we didn't get to talk to Waiton about this yesterday because obviously it was an interview that was pre-recorded. But
Sure.
I did mention after the fact that I would love a feature in training packs where you can copy the pack and keep a pack the way it is. So like when you had that really extra evil version, you don't have to overwrite what you've worked on. You can keep that one and like maybe release it as a fun extra content piece, you know, where you challenge people to like an even more impossible stupid version. But then you can take all the shots and just like lower the timers, make the shots stronger or something like that. Like just kind of like mess with them a little bit. I mean, that would be a really cool feature to kind of allow for more creative freedom. And maybe like you do a thing where you can even do a troll, right? Where you give everyone the code, but you give one content creator like a slightly more impossible version. Yeah, the evil code.
That's a great video.
Yeah, like you give them a slightly more, like different version that's like very similar. So everyone's like kind of talking about the same shot, and this one guy's over here like, I
if you
can't
ever invite
hit
me
the
to a
ball.
video and be like, yeah, I'll DM you the code, I'll be like, no, put it in chat for everybody, buddy. Like,
Yeah.
like, I know I love how it's like some of the like prank videos that you guys have done in the past too, where people mid video are just so skeptical the whole time because they're like, something's up. It has to be like.
Oh, I mean, I've gaslit my friends more than I can count. So I'm surprised I can even fool them at all anymore because they are they're on their toes whenever especially JG. Like that man has been indirectly pranked sometimes even. Like it wasn't even supposed to be towards him, and somehow he gets frustrated more than the person I was pranking.
I think that's the real goal is if, in my word of advice, if you just stay slightly worse than everybody else, they won't pick on you when it comes to gameplay stuff.
Yeah, because you're already kind of pranking yourself in your
That's
gameplay.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, they leave you alone. They just go, hey, we don't have to worry about that guy. And then if you hit something crazy, like that was the joke because I didn't play as much back when we were doing some of those videos. So people are like, man, he's peeking. I'm like, dude, that's the strat. If you don't play, you're always peeking because there's no other contrast to being bad. Like that's just what you are.
People hype you up for it all.
Yeah.
Is there any shot in here that you think, Thanovic, that like will like you kind of knew what you were doing and it was like comfortable for you, but would trip up the players more? So far, you've talked about like shots that you like the backflip one where you thought you had to like go back to the ball, or people are just like reversing and going around it. inversely, is there any shot that you think that like people are gonna struggle more on because they don't know the strat yet?
There's one shot I haven't seen anyone do it the way I did it, and this may just be me being wrong, but I think the way I did it is still faster.
Okay.
Interesting.
Whoa.
Do you know exactly what shot it is?
No.
I
do remember this shot very specifically.
All the competitors are just like leaning in with their ear, like ready to like take the strat.
When I see it, I can let you know.
Okay.
Okay. I'm interested to see which one it is, and it seems like Kevin's trying to put up a pretty good time here. Again, we had someone submit an unofficial, which has been officially verified now because Plu's the GOAT. 5:55 is the official fastest right now, is kind of like the standard.
That's crazy that Everjan's already got that within an hour. Like that's.
I'm not surprised anymore, man. These guys are insane.
A shot.
Yep. Ooh.
Nice turn.
That's a lot faster than the other one.
So Kevin is, by the way, grinding right at the start. I think he didn't do that the other 2 days.
No, he went the I'm gonna watch and see how people do this, then I'll figure it out type of thing. But
I'm really interested because this is literally like $10,000 prize pool LAN invite on the line here.
Yeah, like, Plume is doing the thing all of us terrible players do. He's like, on 21, I dribbled backwards and flicked it into the backboard. This man just like drove around and hit it. Like, yeah. Yeah.
This is the shot.
This one.
So that's how everybody's solving it. You've done it differently.
Yeah, he goes ceiling ramp down.
And then it pinches down to the back of the net. That's my guess.
That's clean. Thanovic's like, wait, no, that's not what I did.
Wait, which shot? Wait. Hold on. My shot's the one that 25, I think. The one where it's stationary on the back.
Yeah.
But also, yeah.
I was kind of theory crafting before you say. Maybe you can tell me if it's right or wrong. Do you go up to the top ramp above the ball so it immediately pops downwards? Or do you make it fall behind the mesh and fall into the goal? Is that what you do? He's like, I'm not going to say.
And you don't have to. You can just say yes, and then he gave you two options you don't have to answer.
Because I know that the goal volumes are very weird, right? Like behind I mess with that in the pack where like they kind of exist a lot more than just where the goal is. They're kind of this big like invisible cube behind. So
he's gone straight to it.
Oh, he might be listening. Wait.
Pancakes it.
Wait, this one doesn't go through.
That's so this was my strat. I was able to get it so
it pancakes.
You can get the reset and it goes down quite quickly. And on the there's like a very kind of go half over and it falls nicely. Yeah.
Well, I love this.
But I don't know if
Kevin,
it's faster.
Say hey to the chat somehow if you can
there
hear
it
us.
is.
Wiggle your camera if you're listening.
Yeah, Kevin, hit us with some sick way of letting us know. And if it's by putting up a PB, I'll take that.
I mean, I would totally imagine that he would be like,
hey, what up,
there it is.
I mean, it's a great strat.
Nonverbal cues.
We're watching a lot of the high-end competitors, so it makes a lot of sense to have us on screen somewhere to watch because you're seeing these strats pop out. And we're discussing. I mean, you've got the man that created the pack himself talking about the pack, so I think it's great insight.
Yeah,
I wonder if it's faster though.
It looks pretty quick.
Like, I'm sure these guys will figure it out, but I think the ability to have that reset in a pretty teed up shot is nice. I will say for anybody who is watching this that sees this and goes, you know what, this is kind of tough. You are watching someone who is in contention for like top 2 to potentially make it. By all means, these are easier ways to solve it. You don't have to go for that air dribble off the backboard. You can just follow it and trap it and go. Like there is other ways to solve these. So if you guys want to try these out, by all means, they're pinned at the top of the chats in the Discord as well. If you do !Apex in chat, it'll pull up all the details for you and you can find them there. Yep, and speedrun.com. So Leaderboard will also have it if you go to Qualifier 3 tab. If you want to check out the ones from the last 2 days as well, you can do those too.
And the first 2 were made by Linkaroo and then Waitin, and we got Thanovic today. It's super cool to involve so many amazing creators, talented people. By the way, I wanted to ask like what you've been up to. Like, are you still like interested in video editing? Is it like just a Rocket League, like just not your thing right now? Like, what are you up to last like couple months?
So, once I stopped doing Rocket League, I did nothing for a month, and I was like, I'll figure out what I want to do. And then I was like, actually, I haven't worked. You know, how there's that whole that whole debate recently has popped up by a bunch of streamers being like streaming is harder than a 9 to 5.
Oh,
Like I kind of sat there and I was like, I haven't worked a job since COVID. I was like, I'm just gonna go interview for like everything to get interview experience because I haven't done anything. And so then I interviewed for a bunch of things. I almost ended up in like a pyramid scheme by accidentally getting a job. Like he was like, "Oh, you've got the job," and then I realized what it was. And I was like,
I want to get a YouTube video for that story.
oh my god.
That was terrible. That was
You gotta
like,
get one of you gotta like start an investigative like YouTube channel where you
Yeah.
you wear those like spy glasses that have the camera in them.
It was wild. I was sitting through an interview and I was like, "This is all right." And then he explained it more, and I was like, "Is this allowed?" And then I walked away and he's like, "Yeah, you got it." And I was like, "How do I tell him no?" Like I was like, "Okay." But right now, at the moment, there's like a little 3-day-a-week job I do, which is just like marketing and all the social media for an escape room company.
Oh,
in
that's
the
cool.
city.
That's really cool. Do you love escape rooms? I love them. I do.
Yeah, I've been like everywhere I go, I try and do as many as I can.
Yeah.
Like, it's so good.
The group that I go to escape rooms with, we have never failed one, and there's always that slight like, what happens if we do? And it hasn't happened yet.
Is it gonna be the breakup? That's the disband.
Yeah, we're like, are we
the
done?
roster
Like that's when we
changes?
stop. That's when we stop doing escape rooms together. Is when we finally fail one.
Do you do big groups at all, Thanovic, or do you go by yourself and just join people? Because I know like some like escape rooms they kind of let you just sign up on your own and you can just be paired up.
I have always done them with my partner, my girlfriend, but then we've recently gotten like our group of friends to come in with us as well.
That's awesome.
So the biggest
Nice.
we've done is like 6 or 7 people.
Yeah,
Do you have
I think
what do you like more? Do you like it where it's like more of it's on your shoulders, or do you like the divide and conquer?
I think divide and conquer, like now that I also, because doing the marketing, you also have to like run the games, so I get to watch people do it.
Oh, that's cool.
So now that I watch people do it, I think it's more fun divide and conquer, because there are so many times where I kind of like you, where I was like, we haven't failed one, but we get real close, and then I just let my girlfriend step in, and I'm like, please help me, like I'm so stuck. But then like, yeah, so when there's a lot more of us, I'm like, okay, safe, like I'm not gonna fail this one if there's more
yeah,
of
I
us
find
here.
that the strat like my wife has her cousins are similar age to us, and we've gone a couple times, and we have like the strat of just like there's always a communal area of just like whenever you find something, we put it in that like circle, just like an area,
Yep.
and we just discuss it. Because the problem is if someone's out there doing their own thing, they might be looking for one thing that some guy's running around holding, and they just like
100%.
we're like, yeah, it always
Yeah.
happens.
Yeah,
like,
we always like we know our group well enough now to where like everybody has their like specialty, like the negotiator, like, hey, you're the puzzle guy. You're so good at puzzles. If there's a puzzle here, I just yell your name and I go puzzle, and you're on it, and you'll solve it within 5 seconds. Like, there's some people that just have the way that their brain works that just like beat stuff up. Do you have like from obviously watching other people do it, do you have like a funniest moment or something that just made you like laugh because of something crazy someone's done?
There's been like we had 2 guys who came for the Tenacious D concert, and then it got cancelled, and they were like the embodiment of like Jack. Like both of them were just like having 2 little Jack Blacks in the room, and so every time a door would open, they would be like, air guitar scream. It was so like the energy was nuts, and I was sitting there being like, I don't want to give you guys help because I just want you to enjoy it, but I was like, guys, we gotta hurry up. Like they're like on their knees, like going crazy. And I was like, okay, fellas, please. Like we got people coming in after you. Like this is great, but oh my god.
That would actually be a really cool YouTube channel to see people constantly do like escape rooms, and then like the best ones. Like there's that one guy who does that with like his Uber rides, where he like after he's done, he's like, hey, this is all recorded. Do you mind if I post it? And he gets like NDA permissions and sign offs and whatnot.
Yeah.
I wanted to
Imagine
ask
that
you
with,
by
like
the way.
escape rooms. That'd be sick.
I wanted to ask you because I've heard of this before. I don't know if you've experienced it with your like escape room company, but apparently there are like esteemed there are well-known like escape room daters. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. Where there's these people that come in, like these guys usually, they get to know like a certain escape room really really well, and then they bring a date, and they just nail it because they've done it before.
Cool?
Yeah, and they just like want to look cool and smart and know the whole. I read a whole Reddit post about it. How there's like at this one escape room place, there was this guy who would come in and like solve it like 3 or 4 times, and then invite a date and like get the world record on the escape room.
I'd never heard of it or thought of it, but it does make sense.
It's kind of hilarious, actually. I don't know.
That is something.
Dedication.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
You guys seen this quick strat from Kev?
Yeah, turning around.
No. So he does a pop where if you just barely graze it on the way back, it goes up, but there is not a lot of room for leniency on it. So like he'll skim it here and it pops the other way when he drift turns, and then he can take it.
Whoa,
that's insane. Like it is like within pixels. I've seen him do it 2-3 times, and it's changed a couple times in the way that he's done it. The safer strat is he goes and then he plays it off the left wall, but he's,
I mean, I really hope that
dude,
someone gets this, because like it's
sick.
That's a crazy strat.
Yeah, he's just, again, it's the physics of pinching against that wall to kick it out, and it's like, it's so like, that's insane.
Wow. That's cool, actually.
It's now live for everyone to see too. So we'll see if if people try to take like, that's the thing though, because if it doesn't work out, you might waste some time. So you really do got to put all the time and effort in this day though, because I think Kevin's gonna want to have all those like quirky shots in
this
one
looks like it has
solid
backup
run.
strats. I don't know if that's the intended, like if you can get it out sooner, but he's just like, all right, first wall didn't work, let's try the second wall. Okay, third wall.
Yeah, I can't remember how that works. Like I was watching and I was like, did I do that? Like, what's wrong?
We've got Dongsku here, the other front runner.
Yeah, he's like what, top 2, top 3?
521 total versus 518 from Kevin. So 3-second difference.
Oh, he fully skips shot 20. Well, I mean, for now, right?
Yeah, I think he's just going to ones that are troublemakers. Let's see if he finds that strat where it like comes out.
So obviously Thanovic is someone who's made a lot of these
too.
Do you have like, what is your brain go to for like how you would approach this? Say you had to do your own pack for a best time, what would you do? Like what's your step-by-step on how you would approach it?
In my head, I picked, like, you do shot 1 is like you have to start with 1, right? So it'd be shot 1, and then it would be every single thing that I have trouble with. Like, I think it would be shot 1 and then shot 20 for me. Because obviously you know, if you waste time on it, you just reset and then it's no time wasted.
Do you think it's worth like scrolling all the way over to 20 just to do it quickly and get a good one? Like, do you think it's worth hitting the D-pad like 10 times and probably using about a second just to make sure you get that one solid instant shot on 20? Do you think that's worth it?
Yeah, I think it gives you, like, if nothing else, it gives you more practice on 20 as well. But like on the off chance you do shot 1, you scroll over, you do shot 20 first time. And then the rest, I'm trying to think of what other shot would give me.
I mean, it seems like,
the shot that
it seems like 27 and 20 are the ones, because 27 is the one where you like hit it up into the pillar and then it bounces, and if it clips out the right side, you can have like 6 seconds to take the shot. It's a direct shot.
Right.
So, and we saw Donsku just skip ahead to it. So
I mean, obviously Rocket League has deterministic physics, so in me saying this, it's kind of wrong, but like, do you think like shot 20 is an RNG element into this, or do you think can it be repeatable?
Like, the reason I left it how it was is because I was like, if I can't do it 3 times in a row, then I'll change it. And I could.
Yeah.
But I think it's because I knew like exactly what I was like, because I did sit on it for about 10 minutes being like, is this
repeatable?
Will it always clip on that? Yeah. Will it always clip on that far post, or is it doable?
I mean, it's probably my favorite shot in the pack. Don't get me wrong. So I love it.
It's the same thing as it's the same thing as the pancake on the backboard, right? Like, if you don't pancake it right, it's not going to drop down, and that's like an extra second, right? But if you hit it just right and you understand that in the moment with the pressure on, you're saving yourself a little bit of time because it drops down and you have your flip reset ready to go. So again, there's going to be those save strategies, or you're going to see people continuing to try to clip and do this crazy, frame
this is more
perfect,
consistent. This one right here. This is a more consistent way to do it. I think Dongsku
way to do it. So we'll see.
Maybe saves half a second, and like he does need every little bit.
This is the one that
nice shot.
That's the one where it like rolls off that back and people are expected to take it to the right, and he goes, no, I'm just gonna air dribble this the other way directly. It's like,
this is another shot that the timer had to be increased, right?
Yeah, I think
for the extra bounce
around the wall.
Yeah, for a lot of people getting to the other side of the wall, they do get trapped up on the lip. But again, if you've got the immediate speed flip from the start and stuff, like it's plenty of time.
This is just such a cool concept for a qualifier. I know I'm like gassing up our own qualifier, but I just like it is so interesting. Like I'm actually finding myself with like my mouth like wide open, like just like I don't know. Like I'm just so intrigued by the thought process going through all these players and the way they're approaching it differently. Like yes, in regular Rocket League you have people approaching the game differently at all times, but there's something about like it's repeatability, right? Like every Rocket League game is like a butterfly effect where after the kickoff, the way you land, all that stuff, the way the ball moves, it's almost like deterministic at that point because of the way that pros play. Yeah. Like I almost feel like pros know what the best case scenario thing is to do. And obviously there's always going to be like that 50-50 of like, is he going to use the flip reset or is he going to fake all that kind of stuff? But a lot of how the gameplay like revolves around is just like how the kickoff went, like where the ball went, where players are going to go and adapt to that. So this is the same shot every time, and players. That's a routine shot. That's literally just an aerial, but it's like in the moment trying to go quick, and he's just like, it's too wide, it's too low, it's too. Yep. This goes to show, like when we watch pro play, and you're seeing that guy hit that Game 7 OT goal with a couple $100,000 on the line. It really means crazy, so much more. It's crazy. Yeah, yeah. Because anyone can hit that maybe like at pro level now can hit that in training. If you gave them like the Justin shot, right? But at the time in season 5, could all of those pro players hit that exact moment? Reactionary like, too, because you're like, hey, I'm on defense. Oh, it perfectly hits the corner. I still need to stay in this mat. Like, nuts, dude. That moment live is probably one of my top 3 moments of my life. Yeah, yeah. Seeing that in person there was nothing like it. Just the energy in the stadium. It was insane. Everybody, like, time slowed down legitimately when that happened. When that ball lofted, it was in the air for what felt like eternity, and we're all like, you had time to be like, is it happening? There's no way that's going in. Oh my gosh, this might actually happen. Oh my gosh, it's actually, he hit it. Oh my god, and then it went in, and then the game had that like hiccup leg, so we all had that extra moment of like, oh my god, like it was insane. Yeah. Justin's goal was insane, dude. I know it's tougher for you to get to lands than like how many did you go to? How many have you been to, like worlds?
I did London 3 years ago maybe, and then I did Worlds when Zen won.
So that Germany? Was Germany, yeah.
2?
Nice.
Yeah, Germany.
Last year.
Those are the only 2.
Yep.
Yeah, you guys are so far out there. Like just flying to NA, I think is what, like 16 hours, 14 hours. Yeah.
Yeah, 16, I think. I got like the flight to Germany, I think was 27 total, which isn't great, but you got plus like
layovers and whatever else, right? Like it was a whole like 2-day process.
And the worst part about it, like,
we
went over for a week. So then it's 27 hours a week and then 27 hours back.
So it's like you have no time. Yeah, you spend half the time or half the days. Yeah. Like, yeah, no kidding.
Just exhausted. It was good though.
Well, it's cool you got to come to one, or 2 of them, because I know it's far out there. I mean, I've been waiting for a Sydney, Australia Worlds. That'd be fantastic.
I'm surprised you haven't said I'm waiting for like Canada Worlds.
Well, I would love Montreal. I think Montreal's a beautiful city. I'm not even gonna like sit here and go like, oh, come to Toronto, because I
want Vancouver. I would love a Vancouver.
Vancouver would be beautiful. Nova Scotia is also a great place. Like Halifax is a beautiful city. There's a lot of really, really cool areas in Canada, and there's such a wide variety of like geography and like just the way that the mountains are formed in the west coast. So I think there's lots of options for like beautiful scenery. Even when I went to Utah, like that would be a great place. Like just like the views you get.
Hit up SSG, man, make it happen.
SSG to host RLCS 2030.
Sean Duras, let's make it a thing. We'll figure it out.
This shot as well is pinchable.
Oh,
but
that's awesome.
That's a risk.
Yeah, no kidding. Oh, and also that's
I don't think I've seen anybody even go for it. I don't think I've seen anybody even attempt to pinch. And would it pinch?
I think it's pinchable.
Does it pinch like and roll in, or is it like behind the wall?
No, it pinches far post.
Direct.
Wow, that's sick.
I think you can slam it so it pinches, bounces, and goes far post. It's just like, because it happened like in 1 or 2 shots, and I was like, oh, it is doable, but like, it's just such a there's so many safer ways of doing it.
Yeah, we again, we had you guys put these together pretty quick for us, which we cannot thank you guys enough. But you know, even with the ability to just naturally come in and be like, oh, you could do it this really cheese way, that's so sick. And then there's still like, okay, yeah, you can jump into the wall, you can catch it and dribble it through like everybody else is doing right now.
I heard you react to like the driving reverse, right? You're like, oh, that like you seem to be like disappointed in it, but I actually think that's like exactly kind of what we wanted was for them to theorycraft, because there's probably some players who, if they don't watch this stream or if they don't watch other pros or like creators, they're probably in that pack trying to backflip it to the back blue wall and sit like wasting an extra 10-15 seconds, right? Like they might be just doing that, and that's the kind of like brain power you want to be using in these packs where you like, what can I do that go faster? And
well, it's kind of brain power that's gonna be needed for the main event too, right? Like these custom maps are quirky is the best way I can describe for people who haven't been able to play in your maps that you guys have made and the community members have made.
Okay, but to be fair, I want to stop you there because like those ones are troll on purpose. These the 12 that I picked are like they should have been Rocket Labs style,
it's
right?
Still though, it's still like a hey, like you're not used to the way that it's gonna bounce off of that wall or that lip of that ramp. Like, understand, for tens of thousands of hours of muscle memory, sure, you have the ability to read the trajectory of a ball, but a lot of that is intuition. A lot of that is just like, hey, I've done this 1,000 times. I know exactly where to land on this backboard because it's going to drop down. But now that backboard's a little bit weird, or it's coming from a slightly different angle off that sidewall.
Different sized ramps too, because we're kind of just eyeballing everything when we make the custom maps. Like I have a general idea.
I'm excited, man. I'm excited to see people's like true like natural play come out and see what they can do. Because
I remember
some of those maps.
This year, Dallas, I brought my PC because I had to work on the Immortals Progressive Island while I was in Dallas. So I had to I drove 24 hours down to Texas, and I was building the stuff. And then like Arsenal was like, "Yo, how do you do this stuff? Like, how do you make this?" And I jumped into Blender and I was like, "Hey, like, here, I'll put a square on the ground. I'll turn it into an octagon." Then I made them all curvy, and I made this like sort of like octagon field in about like 30 seconds, and he's like, "You're a wizard, bro." It's like, it doesn't make any sense. But I'd love to get more people involved, like more creators and stuff, because there are like a lot of simple ideas. We also have the map making course that Swaggel's put together, that kind of puts you through like it's interesting because like map making is such a weird like visual thing, and what I mean by that is that there's a lot of
that was a good run.
That was a great run already. There's a weird thing about map making, right? Where like there's a lot of textures in Rocket League that we can't actually visually see, but we know where they are. Oh, it just it did it again. I don't know what it is that I do. It's something like with my hands. I have no idea. Anyway, like this ramp material here, like we can't actually visually see it in the map making program, so we have to kind of map the material in our heads. It's a really weird process, so it's hard to teach people. It's sort of trial and error, but I'd love to get more people involved because custom maps are the future of most games. Like look at Fortnite. You have custom maps and like all that stuff. Like the people are. It's funny because people ask like, oh, what's the code for this custom map in Rocket League? We don't use codes for for Rocket League the way that Fortnite does. Oh gosh, this one.
I think this is a deceptive.
Hey,
like,
Lethamyr.
Yeah.
Hit me with a "What's up, brother."
What's up, brother?
Put your thumb out when you do it. Go like this.
Is this how? Is that what? Oh, is that? Oh! Stop it! Did you look up like how to do things with this?
Yeah.
Zoom. Is it just one?
So that's zoom to 2x, which is default. I'm trying to find some of the other ones. There's apparently voice controls too. I don't know if you have those turned on.
Oh god, are you putting me full
screen?
The funny thing
is that's how you do it. I have no idea to turn it off.
I think my hand. Okay, so my hand fully out like this is track. So now I'm just gonna be like a tracked head, I think. No, I turned it off. Do it again. Ah, the light just fell on me.
It's tricky.
Yeah, you said there's a clip on Twitter if you guys the Apex RL where Lethamyr is trying to run away from it. He doesn't win.
Oh, I don't win. Oh, you trust me.
It's decent. It's good tracking.
Yeah, it's pretty solid. So we're gonna try to set up one of these at the LAN, Thanovic, and let chat control it. We're gonna find a way to to see if we can get
that's so
chat to
good.
do some goofy stuff while we're in like intermission and stuff. Yeah.
Stop.
Yeah, like if we can rig up like a Nerf gun.
Yeah.
like,
Oh yeah, we're gonna put a little gun on top of it, and then like a little Nerf gun, and then just have it like I just did it again. I just like zoomed my head in again, dude.
Yeah, I don't know how to undo it. So
I think it's the other L. So this one is zoom. Oh no, it just do it again. I think I just repeat it. Like if I just do, yeah. So it just kind of does it again.
Okay. At least we're learning here. We're learning.
So I know how to fix it, but I don't know how to turn these settings off. Like I don't know how to turn off like recognition.
Are those DT 990s?
They are. Yeah, they're very clean.
Nice.
Yeah. Yep. I had the 19 like, wait, 990s or 1990s?
The 1990s are the crazy ones.
I had those. I actually like these better because it has a little. It took a little bit of getting used to. What are you running, Thanovic? Are you running? Is that Razer or?
Logitech Pro
Those are nice.
G2 maybe.
Yeah. Oh, the G20 or whatever. What is it? Oh, that's the racing wheel.
Yeah.
That's the racing wheel. He's got a racing wheel for a headset. Yeah, they're clean.
Logitech something.
Yeah, let me turn this thing off so it stops tracking me. There we go. All right, we can get back into the pack. Sorry for distracting. I feel like I'm just a mess. Oh yeah, so we'll bring Thanovic right back on screen in a second, but we have a job to do.
Yeah, for those that are just joining us and stuff, again, obviously we're trying to have as much fun as possible. You guys are obviously going to see what is essentially some of the vibes that we're doing, and we can't do those vibes without the thanks to our sponsors. First of all, shout outs to Epic. Thank you for supporting us and providing this. Also, shout out to Thanovic for putting together a training pack today.
And for being here.
Shout out to the guys, for hanging out with us. We'll talk with him more in a little bit. Also, shout outs to Thrustmaster and their new heart controller. If you guys want a chance to win one of these, exclamation point giveaway in the chat down below. Makes it a really easy way for you guys to test out one of these on your own. Their new heart controller features their Hall effect accurate technology, which if you guys are unfamiliar with the analogs and how heart works, Lethamyr's got a big brain, so we're gonna let him explain it because he's got one in his hands.
Yes, sir. I have it right here. Let me actually plug it in real quick before I do that. Here, follow me real quick. Thank you. All right, we're back. That was not necessary at all. But here's the heart controller. I'm going to turn it on real quick. When I do that, the green light comes on. It's super clean looking controller to start off. But Waldo did mention the analog sticks. These sticks have Hall effect technology in them, and what that means is it uses instead of friction and uses like a potentiometer or whatever it's called for determining the angles of the sticks. It instead uses magnetic properties of the sticks. There's less friction in the stick overall. It lasts a lot longer. It is way more accurate. I did a couple videos showcasing that effect on my channel, and you can see the regular stock controllers that you usually play with and that I used to play with. They are all over the place. They bounce around. The inputs are random. It's actually a plugin in Rocket League Bacchus mod that you can check that out for yourself if you get your hand on one of these. Exclamation heart to check it out. Thrustmaster has so many other products as well. They have the eSwap X2, which is the new version of the eSwap. You've probably in the Rocket League space seen quite a few creators. I think actually Thanovic might have even had one at some point. They come out and you can actually replace them, even if anything goes wrong. So if you spill something on it or something, you can instead of replacing the whole controller, just swap out one piece. Super cool. You can change up the input on this side too, and add more buttons, whatever you want to do. It's super cool. And they also have replaceable triggers, which tend to break on stock controllers as well. They're super awesome. You don't have to completely renew an entire controller. Now it's just like a $15, $20 piece that you can replace on the controller. The heart controller, once again, is also just a great option. Like I said, that on the screen there, exclamation heart. Or if you're on YouTube, check out the description. Thrustmaster has a lot of great products. They've been studying this stuff for I think like 15-20 years. They have joysticks, racing wheels. They have the technology to really accelerate your gameplay and make sure it's a lot more accurate. So huge thanks to Thrustmaster for sponsoring the qualifiers and being the title sponsor for all 3 days. You'll also have to you'll have the chance to win a giveaway today if you do Xmas giveaway on Twitch, or if you look at the description, we're giving away one of these controllers. I got one of the boxes right here actually. You'll get one of these bad boys. So definitely check it out. Sign up real quick. I think we're drawing in about 2 hours. Around 6:30 probably.
Give or take. Yep.
Give or take. And we also have 2 more giveaways at the LAN from December 6th to 8th. So make sure you check out the main event. Thank you for sticking around. Thank you, Thrustmaster, and thank you, Epic Games, for making all this possible. Yeah, I really appreciate the partnerships, and it's been amazing support from all of them.
appreciate you all so much. Also, for everybody on the YouTube, links for those types of things should be in the description below as well. And I think we also have panels down below in Twitch to where you can click, and then it'll also pull up that stuff as well. So all the details, it's all over. You should be able to find it, make it nice and easy. Also, welcome back, Thanovic, to the broadcast. Thank you for staying patient during all that. I tried to give you a little bit of thanks in there where I could, but
also I want to say, like, you did just come back, but feel free to dip out whenever you want, man. You've done,
we're not keeping you hostage, Thanovic. You can leave whenever you want.
Oh, you're good. I can be here for like another half an hour, 45.
Nice.
Oh, awesome. Okay. That's great. It's been great to chat with you. I mean,
as long or as little as you want, buddy.
You are like on the opposite side of the earth, so it's like you're one creator that I've wanted to work with more. I think we've done one thing in the past before doing the training pack thing. I think we talked a little bit. Yeah. I've always I watch your videos. Like I always enjoyed your commentary and your input in the game. It's someone that I've always wanted to work with more. So it's great to involve you with this project.
It's it was always so difficult to, like, time zones wasn't too bad because it was very easy to just like stay awake and deal with it. But it was like you can't do anything without lag, and so a lot of it was like it has to be some sort of training pack thing
or individual skill practice, like custom map or something. Yeah, for sure. Or the concept was just playing on horrible ping and see how bad we do.
Just suffer for a bit.
Yeah, exactly.
I also do want to bring up someone in chat earlier said, where is it? Someone said, I wish Beef was doing this. He would crush these packs.
He did try the first one.
He did.
This is Chief Beef, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So when I made my like one, I'm gonna like get revenge on Waiting, I gave it to Beef to be like, I wonder if he could do it. And it took me 7 minutes. It was like, you have 10 minutes to do it. I think he did it in under 5, and he was like, cool, $100. And I was like, you know what? Never let this man run another one of my packs. I can't make anything anywhere near hard enough for him.
Hey man, so, I knowing him later tonight when he goes live, I think he's like a 6 p.m. type streamer. I'm pretty sure he'll give it a run. So you'll get a little bit of revenge hopefully later today, man. We'll see, or maybe he'll have the last laugh.
Or he'll just go in and get the world record on the first. Oh, this was pretty good. Maybe I could optimize this and make this half the speed, even though he's like right now winning. Yeah, that's crazy.
He's too consistent. And he's like the worst and best part about it is he's so consistent and he's so like chill the entire time, like loving, like laughing with chat, having a good time. And I'm sitting there being like, man, like I tried so hard. And he's like, hee, like
it's great that we have shots. It's great that we have creators of that caliber too. It's good to have that in the game. Like I love his input and the way he plays the game, and he still is able to have a lot of fun with chat, even though he's like sweating his butt off in games against pros and stuff, which is it's lovely to see that. Like we have more of those coming out because this game is hard. This game is very hard.
Yeah, I was pretty late to, because like I think as we've talked about a lot in this event, we wanted to bring the community together because everybody kind of focuses on their own stuff nowadays. And like, admittedly, like I was pretty late to Chief Beef's content. Like I focus, I do my job, and then I kind of check out and spend stuff on personal lifetime. And I didn't get to really know Beef until Worlds this past year because we were staying at the same place with Leth and everybody else, and like easily one of my favorite people. He's so chill, he's so nice, he's super friendly all the time, like, and it helps he's also very good at the game. Like it's just unsuspecting for sure. He's
also my space station buddy now, so it's also a good little positive. It's great to have him in the SSG fam. Much deserving too, like to have an org behind, like backing him, because he's just such a wholesome character in Rocket League. Like he really like looks out for the best in everybody and chats with everybody. He's very, very like stream oriented. Like what's so funny?
Just game times reactions every time. He's like, that one's floating in, and then it just doesn't fall short. And it's just like, just takes a little bit away from him.
Yeah, you do have to still reach this. Oh, I'm sorry. I do have a knock on the door, so I have to go check that in case it's more deliveries for the land.
This one's a pretty straightforward quick aerial. It's just making sure that you touch it light enough to follow it up.
Yeah.
Like I think that's something that he's got to realize is after you make that first contact, you got to control midair and then go for the second touch to push it through. But yeah, you have a lot of like deceptive shots in your pack where like there's some that I'm like, okay, this is pretty straightforward, and then the ramp up's a little bit slower than I expected, or the shot just kills right before the net, so you have to take that extra second of hesitation. Like it is weird. Like, are those truly intentional, because I mean, I saw when we did the 20-minute one, you guys just kind of slap things together and go, okay, can I hit this? And the ball, you play the ball where it lies, where you just happen to decide to stop. Was there a little bit more intent behind this one because you had a little bit more time, or was it still the same approach?
Yeah, this one, there was a bit more intent. Like, I remember this shot is like almost a 1-to-1 of a shot I made in a previous pack. And it was because that, like, it is, you have to get to it pretty quickly, but then you have to know to either slow down so you don't just slam it off the roof and lose control of it.
Nice.
Or you go for a double. Yeah.
Is that the last shot too? Is that shot 30?
I think so, yeah.
That is
chat are asking, is going off the wall not allowed? Mix, you can do whatever you want when it comes to trying to score, but there's definitely going to be faster ways and more optimal ways to do it. So if you, again, if you're seeing somebody in these packs doing something, because we're obviously spectating some of the better runners, if you're like, man, I can't do that, there's no way, don't worry, these do have some margin of error. So if you want to approach it a different way, you can. So don't be intimidated by what you're seeing sometimes on screen, because by all means, some of these people are very,
like,
very
even
good at
this
rock.
one, right? Like that one off the ceiling, you could just touch it and then like try to drop to the floor, right? You just tap it and fall below, but they're trying to get a shot that goes right towards target right away. And this one, you can
pinch it too.
Yeah, 100%.
Like a lot of this for me, it was like, if I can pinch it once, then I know it's possible, and that way, like, a speedrunner could like do that thing where they just go for it early, and if they get it, carry on. Just save a bit of time. This shot though,
this one's
I love
cheeky,
this
man.
shot.
Yeah,
this one and number 20 are the two that I'm just like, man, I'm gonna see a lot of frustrated people.
Really think reverse. I think reverse direction on this one might be like the Donksku method on the first pack might be the way to go about this, because these ones are
this
a
is
frustrating
what,
finish.
29?
Yep. And you get that high lob shot 30 out of the way too. You're gonna have the tail end be very, very chill compared to the end 10.
I feel like his pack, like Thanovic's pack, has no chill, because every time you feel like it's chill, there's that one that's just like, just kidding, pinch this through 2 pillars and let it elevate a little bit further, and you're like, okay, buddy, like,
yeah.
I think it keeps you on your toes. It's a really good unintentional third pack to put together. Like, again, we've had so many happy little accidents, Bob Ross style, throughout this entire thing, Lethamyr, that I'm just like, for a pilot, I'm very happy. Like, I know you were gushing, you're
amazing.
Like, not trying to be biased towards it, but I think it's a really cool way to see these all come together, how competitive it's been. Like, I expected to have some like clear and heavy favorites, but I did not expect it to be a matter of literal seconds.
And it comes out of Thanovic's pack. Like, we could see a crazy run from either of them, and that will just cement them in the top, because they just, if you get the perfect run here, you're untouchable. Like, you have to sort of try for it. This is Donksku here, so he is in second place, only 3 seconds behind of Kevin. So that's the pop that we were talking about. How this is much more consistent. Like, it just goes out to the side.
You can pinch it to the sidewall, or if you're feeling spicy like Kevin was, you can like barely chip into it. It'll kick out, and then you can bring it back the other way.
Yeah, it looks like right now this is not an official run. He's kind of just trying certain shots.
You never know.
And look at the tail end, right? Look at all the shots he's completed, the ones that he's testing. It's all the back half.
Going for the pancake. Nice.
He's got the pancake down.
Yeah. He knows he's just got to lean back on that one. That one is definitely easier on Dominus, though.
The lean back?
No, the one where it's on the goal. Oh, 29
right there.
Yeah, 29. Yep.
I see a lot of people do this where they go for like a reset off the wall. Yeah. Now he's gonna do the rest of the pack.
Up on the side, you can just send it in.
Is this an official run? Like, did he start?
I think so, yeah.
Somewhere?
He did shot 1, and now he's going through the rest. So I think he does shot 1, then he goes 30 to like 25-ish or so, and then he brings it back the other way.
That's really interesting.
And I'm not here to question the man who's literally top 3, playing podium. So
no, I really think Thanovic was like nailed it. Like, where shot 20 is going to be one of the run enders. So I think it does make sense.
Yeah.
Like, maybe using that extra second of like scrolling to shot 20.
I also love how this is possible because the limited boost in custom training, which is a rule that we never like clarified. Hey, if you're in training, you can't use a limited boost. Which that's a whole different beast. If we're like, hey, these training packs now, you have to use only 100 in the tank. Imagine the shots with that limitation.
Is that a thing that's even in training?
In
like limited
like
boost?
in free play, I know you can turn it off. I don't know if you can do it in
I don't
training.
think you can turn it off in here, but it would be cool if you could like design like training packs with all your own mutators. Imagine like a boomer mutator like training pack where it's forced upon you. Like you have to do boomer.
I'm already having trouble speed flipping, catching up the stuff, and
Dude,
hitting
like,
that perfect
imagine-
shot.
oh
And
my
now
God.
it's like, hey, redirect this with a boomer cross
Dude,
field.
imagine
Great.
the stuff you could come up with like a puck, right? Like,
Oh my gosh.
like if a puck was available.
Imagine if you could spawn in 2 balls and it's like, hey, ground pinch this puck into the ball to like pull shot.
Or it's like figure out which difficult ball is the more efficient one. Like you have 2 to pick from, and you can like there's so much you could do.
I will not be completing any of those packs. Just putting it out there.
This is pretty quick.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was
it's
a good run.
decent.
That was a really good run.
Like we're looking at about 4 minutes, I think. There's definitely a lot
People are
more
crazy,
you can
man.
do. It's just insane how fast they're getting these down. And I was saying this too, that like they have the advantage now of kind of understanding. If you haven't seen packs like this before, or have never experienced one or tried one, by the 3rd one today, they have a little more experience knowing like what to expect from these kind of packs, and maybe can approach them in similar ways they did with like Waiton's pillar situation where the ball was halfway in a pillar. They kind of know now that there's this awkward geometry that will pop the ball out. So they have an advantage coming into this one, and they're learning a lot faster.
Ben, you can tell me no on this if it's not ready, but it looks like we have our official top 5 for training pack number 2, all verified, ready to go. So if he has a graphic, oh my gosh, look at this guy. He's ready on the button. That is our official top 5 for training pack number 2. So Lethamyr, at the beginning of the top of the show, we talked about how Donsku's wasn't verified just yet, but we had a conversation of like, hey, I think he submitted a 304 just ahead of Kevin, who added a 306, which gives them that 3-second difference. But look at the difference between 2 and 3. We're literally in a matter of milliseconds.
Yep. It's almost
Like,
a
it's
whole second.
insane.
It's 0.8. Like it is quite a lot in that 1 second. But Holax also on pack number 1 was in spot number 6 with a 219. So he is equally close. Like he's got a 525 total because his first run was 219 on pack 1. So it is crazy to see. Here's pack 1 and 2 combined. We have a 518 from Kevin, a 522 from Dongsu, a 526 from Holax, 530 from Illuminous, and 530. Oh, they have the exact same time?
No way.
Is that
Wow.
true?
So it's just a tie for 4. That is insane. That is actually down to the millisecond. There's no way.
Unless maybe there was one that wasn't added at the end. I'm just looking.
Unless that is not, there is no way.
Water had a 2. They are
They
dead
are
tied. We just
actually
got
dead tied.
we
That
just
is
got confirmation from production.
There's no way.
It is an
bro.
actual dead tie in 4th. How is that even possible? How did we get that? That is crazy.
What? That is unbelievable. I could have dreamed up like a perfect script, and even that I wouldn't be crazy enough to be like, imagine if tied for 4th, they were the same. And people are like, why
Down to
would
the
that matter?
millisecond, by the way.
Yeah.
And keep
That's
in mind the
unbelievable.
way that we are doing this. I don't for Thanovic's like pleasure as well. Like knowing how we do this, it is the frame. They can reset shot 1 as much as they want before scoring. It is the frame, the first frame of the successful first shot. So if they reset that first
Right.
shot over and over again, it's only that first time they actually move on the
We
shot they
have-
actually scored.
We had to do that because Linkaroo decided to be evil and put his first shot in a pillar that you had to pinch it into and out of.
So we didn't want people to have to reload every time they pinched it out of the pillar and didn't. Yeah, it would just be a pain.
Thanks,
So,
Linkaroo. Appreciate you, buddy.
and then the final frame that we count is when in that top left corner you can see striker and then completion on the right. Completion switches to 100%. That is when we say the run is complete. So thank you to all the speedrunning people, Plamato especially. You've been doing
Yeah.
a ton of work in the background validating all these runs, just going through and making sure they're not doctored in any way, plus just going frame by frame and picking the exact millisecond at which the pack is completed. So this is crazy that we have a top 4. There's 5 players in the top 4. It doesn't even make any sense like that's possible.
I didn't, not even within my wildest dreams did I think it was possible. Like, the next goal is to somehow convince Epic and Psyonix to let us do this on LAN and be like, hey, do this in front of the crowd as a show match.
Have them running side by side back and
Yeah,
forth.
like I would love to have like dream scenario, and hopefully they don't take this from me, and if they do, I'm calling it here first. Someone clip it. The real goal is to have 2 teams. You have a training pack team that has like the weekend to build a training pack. So
I was
like
gonna say the weekend, that's a lot
like,
of money.
yeah, no. So like broadcast,
artist?
right? So broadcast day is Friday, right?
Yep.
So they say, okay, Friday we've got a team in the back. They're building a training pack. You've got like a team of like 2 or 3, like you, Swaggles, and Shark, right? You guys are building a pack or a map together, right? And then you release it only when the guys walk on stage. They see it blind, and it's like, okay, best of luck. Do it in front of the crowd, pressure. Winner takes this. Like, just as like a cool little like show match piece, I think would be so sick.
There's lots you can do within the vanilla game mode,
Yeah.
or like games. Like there's a lot more we can do creatively with like it's
Like, draw a
something
raffle from the crowd or something, man. Like, oh man, it'd be so cool.
Yeah, they could easily do like a freestyle horse kind of thing where like they draw from like a hat of what move they have to do next. Like that could be fun too. Like there's so much you could do.
I did a podcast with JC where we talked about like verifying people on Twitter that's like, I'm Platt and I could have hit that shot, and be like, hey, random guy 1278 on Twitter said that he could hit that shot, and he happens to be here. We're gonna pull him on stage at halftime to see if he can actually hit the Justin shot. And like,
Imagine
you get one
someone
chance,
tweets
buddy.
it
Good
out,
luck.
like we
you get
recreate
one chance. Like,
we recreate it and be like, here's your one time to hit it, man.
yeah, he's so sick. And if he hits it, like he goes down a legend and like walks off with the most swagger I've ever seen. It'd be so sick.
Of course, like I knew I was, Platt.
Yeah,
I
I
could do
was
it.
gonna hit that, no problem.
I really do
think stuff
wonder,
that'd be
like,
fun.
I would love to, because I know that I don't know, Thanovic, have you done a video? I know Wayton has, where he's done a video like kind of ranking what the world championship caliber is like compared to now throughout the years. I can't remember who did it. I know someone did a video.
I did one where I watched the finals of every RLCS.
Yes, yeah, that's right.
And
That's right.
did like a bit of like how I kind of just let chat be like, where do you think they would rank these days? And it very quickly taught me. Chat was like, like season 1 diamond, season 2 diamond. It got to like right up until real recently, and they were like, no, I could take him. I was like, some of you guys are a bit delusional, but fair enough.
I mean, the crazy thing that people don't realize is even back in season 1 and season 2, like fundamentally the positioning and stuff, like sure the mechanics aren't there to the same degree, but like just the firm understanding of how to play the game was still so far ahead that like I don't think people realize that a lot of those players could still hold their own even in ranks nowadays up to like mid-high champ GC, like just because positionally they understand how and when where to be. It's just sure, now it's like, oh yeah, I can use the backboard to pass. Oh hey, I can actually pass it in general if you're in North America, and little things like that the game evolved. But I mean, even nowadays it's just purely recovery and fundamentals. Like people have gotten so good at fundamentals now. Like I selfishly wish that the standard map was a little bit bigger. Yeah, I wish it was stretched a little bit, just because like sure, people backboard clear, it booms all the way to the other side of the field. I wish at best it would like settle on like the 18, like the top of the box. So you have to make like a calculated decision. Do I trap this? Do I go for a redirect? Do I try to pass it here? Do I shoot it? Like I want that like decision process to have to happen. So if like it got scaled up only like 10-15% and like tested on it and see how it played out, I'd be very interested to see on how, because I think that's why I like twos and why everybody likes twos so much. It's because twos gives you the space and the freedom to still be mechanical and unique, and you have space to make those executive decisions, but the passing lanes and everything else is still there. And in threes I feel like we lose a lot of that, which is why we celebrate it so much when it does happen in like worlds and stuff like that, where it's like, man, that 3-man passing play was insane. How did they do that against this other really good team? Because the space is so limited, people challenge so quickly, people are just so good now.
Speaking of quick, like Thanovic, does speedrunning interest you at all? Like, do you watch any like the crazy speedruns of games and stuff? Have you seen any of that, or are you kind of like,
whoa, what recovery?
Like, yes, I couldn't get into the Mario 64.
Did you see that?
I might have just missed. Oh, that's rough.
That was pain.
But for Summoning Salt enjoyers out there, he made a video about my favorite game as a kid, Simpsons Sit and Run.
Nice.
Literally, do you guys watch Summoning Salt?
Yeah.
I've
How do you
watched
not? His goat. That intro sound and music just is like a dopamine hit that I'm like, all right, let's buckle up. 45 minutes, here we go. Like, yeah, it's iconic.
There's like I would love, like I would get into speedrunning. It's just like what would I like I grew up playing the Pokemon games. I grew up playing some Run. There's a game called Shrek 2 on PlayStation 2 that has 93, I think, like speedrunners in it. So I could get top 100 if I tried.
Just by
But
submitting
you don't play the
a
game in
run,
Russian.
you did it.
Just submit a
Yeah.
run in your top. You just play the game like
So
very
I'd love
casually.
to.
That'd be actually a really funny video if you're like
That'd be
going
it.
for a top 100 and you're just like sitting there like you go to bed for the night.
It's just you
leave the
playing
game
over the
running.
course of a week, just chilling. Like,
To answer your question, yes, speedrunning has interested me for a while, but like it's such a time sink sometimes.
You know who I watch
and
sometimes
then
is
finding that Shrek.
Yeah. I was gonna say someone I watched speedrun quite a bit in the Rocket League scene is Spuda. He does Monkey Ball.
Monkey Ball.
Yep.
Yeah.
so we've been talking
He's
about it a
good
lot.
too, right?
Yeah,
He's pretty
We've
good,
been talking
yeah.
about it a lot this past weekend. Like, Leth and I both huge fans of like AGDQ and SGDQ. And like, sure, I'm not going to invest the time on how to do it, but I enjoy watching people just absolutely destroy my favorite childhood games. Like for you, Simpsons Hit and Run and stuff. But for me, it's like, hey, watching all these N64 games, like the one I mentioned last time we brought it up was GoldenEye on N64.
Oh yeah.
Started as just like a cool run, and then they did it where it's two people doing it one-handed, where you control like the A and the B and the C buttons. The other one controls the analog. And now they do that same thing but blindfolded, and it's like just
why?
just seeing the craziness of what the runs have become over the years, because they've been speedrunning that game for legitimately 20 years. So being able to see the evolution of it, but like always watching the like Zelda runs for Ocarina of Time, and like there's some really cool things during that if you're just a fan of like seeing games be destroyed, it's sick. Like Diddy Kong Racing speedruns, bro. Watching the way they take those drift turns and stuff, I'm like, I couldn't. Not as a kid, I was pretty good at this game, but clearly not. Like,
Yeah, imagine like that could be a good troll video too. Like getting like a Diddy Kong Racer like speedrunner who's like top 10, and just have them like play casually against somebody, and it's just like a completely different breed. Like the amount of practice and time they put into it, that it's really an interesting niche that we have found in gaming. Because
dude,
like
it's no different than like competitive like Mario Kart players, bro. Like Mario Kart is a fun game where you lose friends over. Okay, he hit you with that blue shell, you're now in 7th. Like that's what Mario Kart is to me my whole life. I've played against competitive Mario Kart players. I'm like, why is that guy able to boost dodge that blue shell? Also, why is he lapped us all 6 times? There's only 3 laps. Like that's not even possible. Like what are we? It's just a different breed. People that really are proficient in games, man. It's impressive. Like, I mean, Leth, you are one of those people for this game, one of the top 0.0001% type players, right? Like it is.
Yeah, I mean,
it is
it's
different,
just like
man.
it's also just like I'm not gonna say here and toot my own horn. I mean, a lot of it is just like getting at the right time too, though. Like I feel like for me, because I started off early, I had an advantage just from like look at Kronovi, right? Like he had a head start in Rocket League just because of his SARP experience. Same with Kutzer. Like those guys were the pioneer of this game because they also pioneered a game that had less than 1,000 players. Like they knew a lot of them ins and outs of the mechanics that were available to them. But it's interesting to see like players now have less hours and being way higher level because there's all the tools available to them, and the way that they learn is so much quicker because you have players who are experienced and still like around the gold level when you were first introduced to the game. You're like seeing people aerial right away. Like you jump into a game of Rocket League, and the first game you play, like golds are hitting the ball towards the net. So like you are getting exposed to that.
Not the case when we were starting. That's fair.
Not the case when we were starting. Like you had Kronovi doing double taps on people who were driving, doing circles. Like, where's the ball? Also, some people didn't even know that ball cam existed. So a lot of them were just like driving like this, and there's an arrow above their car.
Just
like,
blind, yeah.
Where's the ball? What's happening? How am I supposed to see that? So yeah, it's elevated. There's a lot more footage. There's a lot more content, a lot more educational content about how to do things like half flip. People had to learn that. You were just talking about that yesterday about how like the half flip was like discovered by somebody.
On
like,
accident,
the mechanics,
like, yeah.
Flip canceling and all that stuff. Like the mechanics and we're learning like the licks jump now, which I'm like the day the licks jump becomes competitively viable, I will retire. Like just from the game in general. I think that's the point where you've got superhuman robot players that I do not want to be facing up against on a day-to-day basis.
That was
so
a good
quick.
Strat. Like
This
the
could be an
last
official
time we
test
saw,
here.
yeah, the last time we saw someone do that, they were shooting with like 1 second left on the clock. He cut that by like legitimately 2 seconds.
He still
He's
does
not
this
doing the pancake
method.
on that.
It can
Did you
pinch
see-
up, yeah.
His you see his attempts on 29, like pinching it
Mm-hmm.
instead of dribbling it. That's if someone can get that, that's a lot of time saved.
We're gonna see the run filter here though when he hits the.
Oh no!
Oh no!
It's over. Start over. It's not worth it.
Did he notice that he
Bro.
didn't score? Because he's moving forward.
I think he's just trying to put together a complete run.
Like get a rhythm of time, see where he's at. That makes
Yeah.
sense actually, just to continue.
I think that's good too, because if like you're manually timing yourself, it tells you like, hey, am I on pace?
Oh,
That's when the wall can get in your way pretty heavily.
like visually.
He was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, this map probably needs a revamp. Like they need to like change up the invisible textures on this so like it doesn't do that. But it's still, I think the shape of the map is great. Like when they first introduced the Rocket Labs, this is my favorite map to mess around with. I remember playing on it for the first
People
time.
asking for the code, it's pinned up top. If you guys are at the top of chat, it should be pinned for you. Otherwise, stop by the Discord, !Apex in the chat.
I'm gonna quickly post this top
Go for
5
the pinch,
one.
go for the pinch, go for the pinch.
Oh, I do want to say that.
I want to see someone try it, man.
Oh. 1 second. There we go. He's going pretty quick. He did miss that one, but like it's a pretty quick run.
That's a really clean way.
Are there any shots in here?
After this-
you go ahead. Go ahead.
Sorry, no, carry on.
I was gonna say, are there any shots that you like feel you would have liked to change or do something different with them, or are you pretty happy with how it all came together? I'm personally happy with it. I think it's great. Are there any ideas that you wanted to maybe introduce that you didn't get the chance to?
I wish you could put more. I wanted this one to bounce like
five
or
times?
6 times.
Yeah.
Like I wish I could put more power behind it because I wanted it to bounce like all the way up and down the pillars.
That would be
to see if someone could
hilarious.
just intercept it at some point. But
Yeah, like almost being able to change the physical properties of those pillars, like giving them more bounciness, like where they can just the ball infinitely bounces, and you have to at some point intercept it and catch it. Would be hilarious.
Trying to think, like there are a few that I'm like, oh, this is the right way of doing it. This is the right way. This is the fast way of doing it in my head. That's already been beaten. That I'm like, I could have made it a bit harder. Or
That's 2 now. Oh, pain.
oh, is he?
Yeah, if they cut this and then bring
That's
it
rough.
mid.
Yeah, at this point he knows that he messed up a couple, so I think he's just going to the ones that are troublemakers. But he's going reverse. Yeah, the tail end of your pack definitely is more difficult, so I definitely think that's a good strat, a valid strat. I think Waiton's had a pretty good balance. Like either direction you go, I think that you're gonna find difficulty. And then Linkaroo, I think, is similar to yours, where the I would actually almost say, like, because of the pillar
Just trying
and
to
stuff,
show
like, at
off
the
on
start-
broadcast.
Yeah, he's doing some flip resets.
Oloom, we've seen your trials. You're like hitting top 4. We know you're good, bro. We know you're really good.
I think I could have probably reshaped it a bit. I remember doing it and being like, okay, first 13 or 14 is when I was like, this isn't too difficult. Like, where I was like, you know, diamond champ players, like, should be easy ish. Like, the issue with some of these is it's just like, oh, it's just a shot that you kind of zone out and then you just miss it.
I love the fact, like, that shot that he just saw, the one that's that like slow lob that hits the corner. I can't wait for someone to be on record pace and then they just overzealous and they beat it. Like, it is that change-up shot that looks like it's so easy, a free chip in, but it's not. You got to be patient on it. It forces you to slow down, which is crazy because, like, the whole purpose of this is go fast as possible, put the shots away. You literally can't on that. You have to brake check it. We saw that even in Waiton's a little bit, where it's the one that like rolls down the pillar, then you can chip it around. Just gotta take an extra second, take a beat. Like, I don't know, man. I think it's paced really well. Like, it is interesting how each of these have kind of taken on their own identity unintentionally. Like, they all definitely have a different feel to them, which makes sense because you guys are all obviously 3 different creators with 3 different approaches on how you want to make these training packs. So it makes sense that that's happened. But yeah, I think it's really, really cool to see like how these have actually come together and like the different variances. But I'm also interested. Like, I think Lethamyr, you and I 100% are going to sit down with whoever ends up qualifying in person and being like, all right, man, take us through your experience with all 3 of these packs. We're going to go one by one. We're going to watch your run with you and like let us know what this is like for you. Because it'll be interesting to get their perspective as well. Like we've had some creators and some runners stop by, like Game Time, prime example, just raided Lethamyr and is stopping by. Like,
oh yeah, thanks for the raid.
Yeah, we've been asking a lot of these people, like, you know, how's your experience been? And for some of them, it's been like, this has just been super fun. I know I'm not gonna win, and I'm enjoying it. Some people have been like, this is cool. This is pain. Existence is pain. This is so tough. But but you can tell like they're still enticed by it and they're still doing it. So there's been some cool contrast, but yeah, I think
another sub 10. I think it's around 7 minutes. Gonna review it right now. That's awesome, man. Thanks for playing all these. It's been great. Yeah, I was also saying like sub 10 on any of these packs, like with how like troll, but also just like complicated they are. Like I think it's impressive. So that's really cool to see.
Average officially down to 4 minutes and 8 seconds unverified.
Oh, I want to mention, by the way, there was actually a little bit of a verification oopsie. It actually is not directly tied for 4th anymore. There's actually a 2-second difference. So
yeah, that's what wow. I was like, there's no way. So 2 seconds or 2 milliseconds?
2 seconds.
Okay.
It was off by 2 seconds, but still impressive and still pretty close altogether. I just posted all the current
confirmed time right now. Is exclamation point leaderboard. Check it out. that is the easiest way. 4 minutes 22 seconds 367 milliseconds. So a 4-minute 22 is the current fastest verified time.
It's 4 minutes. Wow.
It's crazy how close it all is.
Donsku has a 338 unverified.
That's pretty good.
Dude, it's been 2 hours, guys.
Yeah.
Chill.
I was gonna say this has been up for like less than 3 hours.
Like this is a faster improvement pace than we've had in any of the packs, actually.
Yeah.
This guy's just pogoing for fun.
All right, that was just sick. He had the number 1 run for TP2, right?
He's in Holax is in 3rd place. He is the 526 total, so he is in the running. He's only off by.
It's gonna be a lot of fun for me.
Yeah.
So sorry.
Ooh,
just because it's like 11 a.m. for me.
Yeah, you're gonna see the progress throughout the day.
Like I can tune in, have a look anytime in the next like 12 hours, and just be able to see it.
Yeah, we because obviously we'll be here for another 2 hours on broadcast, and then like we verify some of the runs when we're done, and then like I wake up tomorrow morning with people who have like 4 or 5 hours left in, and you're just like, okay, it's 45 seconds faster somehow, and you're like, what happened in the last 8 hours? Like, what is going on?
I'm excited to react to the overall winner. Like,
me too.
The 3 runs. Like, it's gonna be a lot of fun to like watch how their entire journey came to be.
Pose that question to you guys, thanovic. If you want to do another video or something like that for YouTube to like react to the fastest runs of your pack, I'd be so down to have you. Like, if you want to do that too, I think it'd be so much fun.
It's just such a cool format. Like, I'm glad that it came together so well, because it's just. It would obviously be even better if like in game there was a timer that like started and ended. I think that would be like super cool. That would make it a lot easier.
Someday. Yeah, I don't know. Like we joke about it, but it's been like a legitimate 2 years of planning and trying to theorycraft and put this all together. So the fact that it's like officially here, I think is a pretty crazy thing for both Leth and I. What do you get delivered now? Another tea? Where are we at? Cookies? Oh my god.
More cookies. 4 of them. I don't know if I'm gonna eat 4 of them, but thank you to Shannon. She just walked out of the room, but
nice.
Yeah, they are like decadent peanut butter cookies. I had some yesterday.
Oh, that's a vibe.
So don't mind me if I stuff my face a little bit.
Hey man, you do you. I got some Dots originals, so we vibing. I'll save those for later.
Yeah, thank you.
I was saying I may have to go after this.
I was actually about to say, we're over here stuffing our face. Go, like, thank you for joining for as long as you did, because that's really appreciated.
Before you head out, thanovic, one last question, because we didn't really get into it. How did you get into Rocket League? Like, what was your origin story? How did you what was your approach to it?
How it started?
Yeah, like were you like a day oneer in like 2015? Did you come in a little bit later? Like, what was it?
I think I was 2018 maybe.
Okay.
Like I got in I think the reason I got in was me and a few of my friends were playing Battlefield 4 and servers went down, and he was like, "Oh, nothing else to play. You should try this." And I'd seen it for like a few years, and I was like, "Nah, like not my thing." And stayed away, and it was just everything else I wanted to play was down. And I was like, "Okay, you picked it up finally. You convinced me." Like it was like in a, not like a mean way, but I was like, it doesn't seem like I played like football, like soccer all my life, but for some reason I was like, I can't really get into it. And then I like started, and I think one of the first things I looked it up, and it was like obviously John Sandman at the time popped up, and I was like, oh, okay, great energy. I'll get into this. I'll watch this guy, and then became a massive Lachinio fan. And after that, just hard committed, and yeah, so played it like dedicated to it. Ended up, I think the reason I took it seriously was I went to work one night, real rough feeling in my stomach, went to the hospital. They're like, "Cool, you have appendicitis, we're rushing you to surgery."
Oh, shoot.
I was like, okay. Like literally within 20 minutes, they're like, "We need to go to surgery." Woke up, and they were like, "Cool, I was in my house at the time, but they're like, "We have no internet, you just have your PlayStation." And so I adjusted training packs for 2 weeks while I was on like bed rest.
It all makes sense.
And after that, I was like, I feel way better at the game. I'm going to play this seriously now. And just
Wow.
got really into it.
That's crazy.
I think if anything, that just goes to show the importance of creators in this game. Like legitimately, like you talk about like, hey, the reason I got into it is I held off for so long, and then this one person made an impact on my approach to it and like his energy. Like, shout outs to John. Obviously, we're close with John.
Oh yeah,
Love John to
John's
death.
great.
But like the ability to say like, hey, we enticed by this creator, this pro really made an impact on me, and because of that, like circumstantial, things happened, and now look at how many years you are later, 5 years later, and the stuff that you've been involved in and what you've been able to do. So
I mean, I'm sure that
crazy,
you've seen so many comments on your videos too, just people like, yeah, I've jumped into Rocket League because of you, like especially like in your region. Like you're a big representative on the creator side of your region. I think Avampel is another one that's representative over there, and is OSM OCE? No,
OSM
he's
European now. He used to be APAC, and now I think he's Europe.
I think he's European now.
Okay, yeah. Is there any other creators I'm not remembering? I don't.
We had a few. We had a guy called Helical, who has now stopped.
Okay.
I think it's it. It was literally just a Vampel and myself.
Oh wow.
And so every day I'd wake up, well not every day, but like on the days I'd wake up and he's like, "You want to make a video?" I was like, "Oh, someone else." So that was kind of nice. Someone I could work with that was on the same ping.
Mm-hmm. That's super awesome.
But apart from that, I think it was just us two. Now I think it's just him.
Wow.
It's crazy, man.
Well, it's been great to talk to you. And honestly, if you're still on the online world at all, like let us know where they can find you and take it away, and wherever you want people to go follow you and see what your journey's like in the future. Whether it comes back to Rocket League at some point, we'll have to see.
Man, I'll give you this as a fun. Like I'm still uploading on YouTube, but literally just whenever I feel like it, and whatever I feel like. Like at this point, it's like may as well just for a laugh. But as a little side project while I was working, I started like this is the first time I've ever announced it, I guess. I started like a fun little side channel where I don't show my face, but it's my voice.
Oh,
so
cool.
There's a channel out there. Just a little I research during the day, little documentaries. Classic video essay channel. But I don't plan on ever announcing that that's me. It's just something I did for fun.
That's cool.
So that's out there. And if you find it,
Deep dive the internet, man.
I mean, Sunless kind of did something like that too, but he did kind of give it away with the name Sunless Stories.
Yep.
But yeah, it's cool because I mean, you guys have great storytelling. Both of you like write good scripts and all that stuff. So it makes complete sense that you could pull that talent that you have out of what you do with Rocket League storytelling and putting it into something else you're passionate about. So that's really cool to hear. Obviously, there's no way for the people to find that, but it's out there.
People are gonna be there, and all of a sudden it's like, why are documentary channels seeing such a big influx of viewership? And it's like people are just searching, be like, is it this one? No,
through all
this one? No. It's like, my retention
channels.
rates are dropping like crazy. What's going on? Like,
that's not his voice. Not his voice. His voice. Yeah, that's so funny.
Yeah. I'll announce it one day, but I want to get up and running properly. So I'm like,
yeah, you don't want Rocket League fans to come over and look at it and be like, that's cool. Like I'm supporting him, but then they don't continue to watch because that you want it to be organic growth.
Makes sense. That's why. Awesome. Yeah, I was like, I could very easily just be like, cool, I'm over here now. But I was like, actually, it's more of a test to me to be like, try it all over again. Start fresh and see how we go.
Well, thank you again. It's been great. You stayed on for
Thank
way
you very
longer than I thought you would, to be honest.
Oh
It's been a
yeah,
long-
I
long
got
hangout. It's been
involved.
great. Yeah, it's great.
Well, Thanovic, it's greatly appreciated, man. Before we let you sign off and stuff, I want to give you the floor to say whatever you want to say, or thank whoever you want to thank, or if you just have final words, or like good luck, you know, Rocket Leaguers, or whatever kind of sentiments you got.
And while you do that, I'm gonna eat a
man, then we'll
cookie.
let you get out of here.
First off, thank you to both you, obviously, for hosting this. Like, seeing this message come up, I was like, oh, it's so cool to, like, you know, even though I took such a step back, I was like, always, I'm very happy to get involved in something like this. It's so cool. I will do the obligatory thank you to the sponsors, to all the sponsors, everyone that's helping out, and then obviously very much looking forward to seeing how people take on this pack. So thank you to everyone who is attending this pack and everyone who is watching and supporting the entire time. Yeah, pretty much good luck to everyone. I'm looking forward personally to seeing like the coolest shot that comes out of this. Like speed, fantastic. Someone who pulls off something crazy, like, oh, I'm gonna be so invested in that. So looking forward to it. Thank you again though.
Awesome.
Hey.
Thanks so much.
Thank you so much, Thanovic. Cool. Hope you have a good rest of your night, day. Like you guys are
Morning.
like a day minus a couple hours. Yeah, you guys are. It's like somewhat early. It's like noon, I think, right?
Yeah, it's like
Noon?
11:20
Yeah, 11.
a.m.
Yeah.
Yeah, great. You guys are in the future. Let us know how things are over there. Either way, man,
Will
we'll let
do.
you get out of here. Appreciate it as always. You'll be happy to know as well. People are trying to pinch strat on number 29, so there is someone attempting. So stuff for you to look forward to. But with that said, if you want to bring back to me and Lethamyr so Than can get on out of here. Again, everybody, if you guys are trying to figure out what the heck is going on in today's event, make sure you guys go and show some love to Thanovic on all his socials. We will make sure we drop links in the chat somewhere for you guys.
Very
at some
appreciative
point.
that he was able to,
Yeah.
you know, come and share some of his thoughts today, and just also be part of the video before. It's really great to hear from like the actual creators and get like sort of pick their brain about how they thought about the pack and what they like. Hearing that he originally wanted people to backflip that one shot and stuff like that is really cool insight.
Yeah, always awesome to have those guys on, and very thankful for their help, and also very thankful for our sponsors. First and foremost, shout outs to Epic Games for supporting this and allowing us to put this all together. Their help with the operational logistical lifting has been just something we cannot thank them enough for. Along with our core sponsor for the qualifiers here, it's Thrustmaster Heart, and they're trying to give back to you guys as well. If you do exclamation point giveaway in the chat, it will pull up a link for everybody on YouTube. It should be in the descriptions for you all. But the ability to actually get one of these controllers yourself, the Heart controller, which utilizes Hall effect analog sticks, which use magnets instead, so there's less friction. They last longer. They're a lot smoother as well. There's a little bit less resistance as well, which is really nice on those because of their frictionless usage. If you want a chance to win one of those, again, sign up. We'll be drawing that winner in a couple hours, maybe under a couple hours here for you guys to do it. Lethamyr's been using them quite a bit.
Here it is.
He's showcasing it better. He's up
Yeah, the Heart controller is
Vanna
great.
White this weekend, I guess.
I've been using both the Heart controller. I've been testing both the Heart controller and the eSwap 2, which are both Thrustmaster products. They're both amazing controllers. Lawler already hit the nail on the head with like how good these are because of the technology in the analog sticks. They last way longer, which is a huge thing. Controllers tend to break if you use them for a lot of time like within a couple months. They tend to wear down, especially Xbox controllers. Their bumpers break down. These ones do not. They last a lot longer. They're steady, a really sturdy build, and the sticks, they're way more accurate. They're down to a 0.01 degree accuracy. And the way they do that is by using the Hall effect, which is why it's called the Hall effect accurate technology, or HART for short. It basically tracks the actual position due to the magnetic pull of the stick wherever it is. I'm probably butchering that explanation of the actual physics behind it. They've done a lot of research on this. They've been in the industry for quite some time now. I think over a decade. They have other products like racing wheels and flight sticks that they have similar technology, and they've now introduced it into controllers, which I think is a great option. And honestly, the smart choice. What isn't smart is that they actually made it so that these things last forever and they won't have to sell you another one. So, you know, when you get one of these, you're going to be holding onto it for a long time. Same thing with the eSwap X2 as well. If you want to pick up one of these, they have Hall effect sticks, SH5 sticks that pop out. And even if you break them or you spill water on them or something silly or goofy, you can just replace the single piece, which is super cool. It's a much more cost-effective way to keep your controllers lasting a lot longer. You can keep the base, but then replace certain parts that are much cheaper than an overall, you know, $100 controller or so. So super huge thanks to Thrustmaster for sponsoring. Reminder once again that you can do the giveaway, be part of the giveaway today, and there will be 2 more giveaways during the LAN event in December 6th to 8th. So make sure you enter for the giveaway. We'll be drawing names from there actually in about an hour. There it is on the screen there. So definitely get in there soon because the first giveaway is in an hour and 10 minutes.
Well done. Round of applause. Claps in chat for Lethamyr for doing that as we jump back into these packs. As a reminder for everybody, thanovic is no longer with us, and Ben recognizes that too. See how quick he is? Trigger fingers, man. He's on the money. But the for everybody who's watching or just joining us or don't know what's going on, this is the Apex Qualifiers featuring Rocket League, presented by Thrustmaster Heart, taking spaces in between it because it's a long title. If you guys are unfamiliar, yeah, this is Qualifier 3 of 3. Way we're doing this is we wanted to bring the community together, so we had Waiton, thanovic, and Linkaroo make training packs, not in that order, and have released those codes to you guys. They're open to the public. If you guys do !leaderboard in chat, you can actually find those on speedrun.com, or if you do !apex in chat, it will also bring you guys all the information onto the Discord. Everything is linked in there. You have the ability to try these out as much as you'd like, but for the people that have been here since day one, they are all competing to put up the fastest total time across all 3 training packs, and whoever does that gets invited to a $10,000 LAN at Lethamyr's house, where we're going to be doing some wacky, zany, very fun stuff. If you guys have been part of the Rocket League community for a really long time, you should be familiar with Gold Rush and Beyond the Summit events, where they played like Mafia and a lot of IRL content. I think at one point Stranger tried to microwave something in fake that, like very content personality, laid back type vibes. We're trying to bring that back, go back to the grassroots, and give you guys something that you will be able to talk about, memories and moments that live rent-free in all of our heads. So it's gonna be a lot of fun, a lot of custom maps that Lethamyr has had the pleasure of not only building but also working with other creators on, and trying to feature I think 7 unique people who have made maps, I think is what the total is out of the 12 maps.
Yeah, so there's 3 from me, 1 from Simple Shark, 1 from Mr. Swaggles, I believe, and then that leaves the rest of there's 7 other maps.
Yeah, 7.
That's
yep,
so
6.
So there's actually 8 map creators total. Because there's me, Simple Shark, and Swaggles. So of the 12, we wanted to really kind of spread out the love and pick maps that are really, really solid competitive options. A lot of the custom maps we make are purposely made to like be really troll or difficult. We don't want it to be like not competitive. We don't want it to be like RNG related, things like that. So we made sure to pick maps that are not standardized, but just in a way like
that's really Royale quick. Cheesing that just off the using the ramp.
Just rolls off.
Spins.
Yeah,
that's
quick.
So clean.
We wanted to pick maps that are, you know, more so directed on like if the pros come in and try it, they'll pick up the shape of the map really quickly, and they'll get used to it and be able to pull out some crazy mechanics. I'm sure there's gonna be some crazy shots coming out of this map pack.
Yeah.
It's also not just all 12 being played, because it's a map pick ban phase. So the captains will be picking 3 maps to ban, and there will be 9 maps available to choose from.
Yeah, there's gonna be plenty of interaction for you guys. We're gonna try to let you guys control one of the cameras at one point. We're gonna try to get your insight into things. Like, we're gonna do anything and everything we can to make sure that there's involvement with you guys throughout it. Big reason for you guys joining the Discord, even if you're not competing, we will have a suggestions channel in there at some point. So after like everybody who's there and attendance is announced, if there's certain content pieces you think would be really fun or things you would like to see, no guarantees that we can implement all of them. We are under obviously some pretty heavy time and monetary restrictions, but there is definitely the enticement to say, hey, this could be really fun or really interesting. Based upon myself, Leth, and the other broadcast talent will be there. We'll try to accomplish whatever things we think work out and have fun.
Yeah, we might be able to do something like too, where I thought about where like you have someone like people actually asking interview questions over recording. Like we have them record their voice asking the question and putting the pros on the spot or the creators on the spot. They have to answer like, you know, like Ronaldo or Messi, like something like you know, just completely polarizing people
while
like soccer for football fans. Yeah.
I'm not going to be surprised if one of the broadcast talent with us literally walks up with a microphone and puts it in their face while they're competing. Probably going to make sure they can't do that, but we
want to keep competitive integrity above all else. We won't mess with one team versus the other. We will probably do some listen-ins
mess with
and stuff
both
like that.
equally.
Yeah. So we'll have a lot of fun with it. I think the pros know that, the creators know that. We're just trying to make this a very fun event, but also like there's money to be made, right? So there's money to be won. There's a big prize pool.
Still going to take it seriously for sure.
Yeah, and that prize pool would not be possible without Epic Games. So huge thank you to them. We probably don't mention it enough because this would not be possible without so many moving parts. This is why lands don't happen that often, because it is just so expensive. But it is worth it. We wanted to make this a special event, special for you guys to watch, as interactive as possible. So much good stuff coming.
Again, chat, everybody who's here, who's watching, hanging out with us. I know a lot of you guys are not only watching and tuning in, but you guys are also doing the packs as well. I know a lot of people from my community specifically, I don't know if you're seeing it for yours, Leth, where they're just having fun trying them. They know, like, hey, I can't compete against some of these people, but it is something that they've been enjoying doing this weekend. Just as
that's been great.
Something different. So very appreciative of everybody signing up. It's something that I can't advocate for enough. If you guys like events like this, if you like seeing the salt mines, if you like seeing all these off-season tournaments, all the 1v1, 2v2, and 3v3 things that just got announced, like $435,000 worth of tournaments and stuff, the number one thing you guys can do is sign up and play. Like, realistically, Epic looks at, hey, how many people are playing? How many people are interacting with this thing? Do we want to keep doing it or not? By you guys showing involvement, by you guys tuning into the streams, by you guys playing in them, that is the number one thing that says, you know what? There's a direct correlation between us supporting this thing and people showing up and doing it. So by you guys tuning in and doing that stuff, we cannot thank you enough, because that is exactly what we want to be able to go back to them and be like, listen, I didn't expect to get as many people streaming this event as possible. Like, the amount of submissions and stuff that we've had is pretty crazy. The amount of people that are actually doing the training packs is way more than I thought it was, because I know it's a lot to be like, hey man, this exact time on this exact weekend, you need to also stream it. You need to, you know, it's a lot we're requesting from you guys, and we know that. But it's some of the rules that we have to put in place to make sure that, you know, everything is competitively fair. So the fact that as many people have signed up and are doing it, I cannot thank you guys enough. If you are trying to find the training packs, Synthex, I think you answered your own question. !Apex in the chat. Go to that Start GG Hub page. In there is a link to the Discord. Join the Discord, and then there is a code release text channel. They're all in there, all three of them, and they will be up until the end of time. If you want to find another place, you can do !Leaderboard in chat. That'll pull them up on speedrun.com. They're also listed on there on those pages as well. So plenty of options to find it. If you're on YouTube, check the description. Makes it really easy for you.
Well done.
Thank you.
That was a lot of info. That was a big info dump, but that was a lot of good info.
Like it's my job.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm actually really appreciative that the timing of this is the week before I head to F1, so I can have some like reps in before I go and do that too. It's good to flex the chops a little bit and kind of get into a groove before doing more.
Yes, this has been a great day too. Like, seeing them, I feel like this has been the fastest learning pack.
Day 3 even, yeah, it's been crazy.
Yeah, might be the hardest to optimize, I feel like. Especially because of that one pillar.
Dude, the change ups, I'm telling you, man. The change ups on these, like, when we were talking with thanovic on it, like, some of these touches, like that one, just dies. Like, it hits so soft off the side. The other one that's after, where it's, like, lofted in the top right pillar, like, you want to move as quickly as possible. It's kind of similar in Training Pack 2 with Wayne, where it's like you go from rushing forward on that fall to, like, hitting a direct shot to immediately having to half flip, catch, and bring it the other way. Like, people just... Again, you got to commit it to memory. It's not easy, dude.
Like, this one's deceptively, like, you have to wait a second to get a proper shot angle.
This one trolls so hard, and I love it.
But it's not even hard if you just take your time, you know what I mean? Like, it really is just like a patience test.
But I think that's cool that it's unintentional. You know, we're doing a speedrun and we're telling these guys to be patient.
A lot of the time that is the method, though, just to... Especially with it, like, when you have a 24-hour challenge, it's all about just... like, basically balancing how much you want to do the fastest shot every time versus just consistency. We've talked about it a lot.
Nice shot.
It's a little high, but should
he's fine. That's on the money. Nice catch. He's gonna send it towards. Good recovery. This is a good run so far.
Yep.
I'll hold my judgment until 20 hits.
Yeah, I mean, he did. We just saw him, like, try it like 20 times in a row. So I think he knows what he has to do.
So far, this has been a super clean run. He's gonna go the safe strat here.
Beautiful.
Not trying to intercept it. Totally for it. We forgot he's got to go the other way. Smart. Again, that's just good recognition to be.
Oh my god.
Ooh. But great recognition, like immediately being like, oh shoot, I didn't go the right way. Backs out, like.
Yep.
And 30 shots is a lot to memorize, man.
It is, and they're doing a very good job. He's going for the pinch. Oh no,
No.
okay.
I don't blame him. He's gone safe every other time. Makes sense.
But to win this, like
no.
ticket, it is like there is some risk taking you need to take. Here it is. Can you get out number one? No.
That recovery was sick, by the way.
2.
Nice. This is a good run. Half flip dodge. Can you get to it?
Wow, he does it interesting way.
Yeah.
It's pretty quick. He does get that on the first go, though.
So clean.
That's pretty clean.
Dude, this is a good run. Bulk field.
That was good. I think he could have taken that.
I think he pinched too far. I don't think he was happy with it.
Now, Royales, I don't think was in the top. Was he in the top 5? I don't think he was.
No, he was not in the top 5, but he's close. Like he's always had like maybe like an extra 10, 15 seconds compared to some of the top runs.
Yeah, he was in a 232. 232 for the first one, and then a 331.
Perfect pinch on that. Lands on the ceiling. It should push it for a double. Nice. This one's really weird.
He needs to basically take. It's possible, like that he takes it, but everyone else have to be like 40 seconds slower.
This one pop out. Oh, oh my gosh, this one's so troll too. 27 and 20, man.
I think a lot of people are shooting it on the other side. That it seems to like, this ramp edge does not like popping the ball out versus the one in the middle.
There's a way to do it though. There you go. Okay, so you got to lob it high and have it clip when it's falling.
It's basically a replication of 20.
This one you just got to hold down, I'm pretty sure. This one you can just... That looks spicy. This looks like me doing it.
Not this again.
Oh, nice. Nice save. This will still be a quick run. Last shot. Should be able to double this. This is
pro player heaven.
Yeah, that's pro player. Nice recoveries. That's a really clean run. It's
pretty solid.
A clean run.
Yep. There wasn't too many mistakes. He has it in him to be like probably like 20 to 25 seconds faster than this.
I think even 30. It just goes to show, man. Like, okay, so the big holdup was 27. And I think 27 best strat is to pop it high into the left so it pinches that near side. This is Donsku, who's in the top 2. Don't let that bottom... Hey, there it is.
There it is. Yep. He's restarting here, so we get to see the start of a run. He's going for 27.
Yeah, so if you get underneath it, he's trying to pop it. Oh, he goes low on it. So you score one and then...
I think what we just witnessed was him failing on 27 and then went back to like test it.
So he does one straight to 27 and then completes his run.
Wow.
So I've seen Dongsu pinch this off the ceiling and chase it like this. And then he goes to the other difficult one, which is 20. That's too much power for once.
It's a weird shot.
Yep. And he goes to 16. What?
I think the only change I would have made to this pack is give that one like shot 20, maybe like 1 or 2 more seconds, just to allow for that bounce, because it should reward you if you do get the ball out of the pillar. But for it to come out of the pillar and then die on the floor right before going in the goal, I think is a bit too harsh.
It is pain.
But overall, really good pack. I'm actually, this might be my favorite. What's crazy too is that this is like this is a map, and these are the 30 shots that are in here. But there's equally another universe where 30 new shots on this pillar map makes it feel like a completely different training pack.
Oh. One of the runners says he actually likes that it can't bounce on 20.
Interesting. It does reward you more if you do get it.
Mm-hmm.
But it is still like, it is pretty cutthroat.
Yeah, I think so when I was doing that litmus test for this, right, like there was a balance between what I've deemed as kind of like the gimmick shots where it's like, hey, you have to do this one thing in order for it to work, versus the margin of error thing.
Yep.
And I think for some of them it is okay. Like there's a couple that even Linkru had where it's like, hey, margin of error, like the second to last shot, you just have to drive and turn left, right? That's part of the puzzle. And I'm okay with leaving some of those. And to me, like number 20 is probably that for this one, where like, hey, the puzzle to score this is you have to hit this one with power and it'll go out. Like, it's a little quirky, so I can understand both sides of it. Like a lot of these shots, like these, I was like, no extra seconds needed, because you can either A, intercept it, carry it down the middle, or you can catch it and bring it down the right hand side. So you still have to keep the ball up. It's just which route do you go? This one's easier to catch and control, or can you get the aerial going? What do you want to do? You know, this
and
one,
when you have these two players like Dongsku and Kevin, who are split between 3 seconds, it's gonna come down to those little changes in how they approach some of the shots.
Whose gameplay am I watching, B-Man? The person that we're watching is the bottom left. Chats are combined. And next to the person talking has a little icon of either like my icon on Twitch or Lethamyr's icon on Twitch. So that's how you know which chat the person's actually in, but they're combined. That way, for us, it's like, hey, I want to be able to interact with whatever people are saying on Lethamyr's stream because we're all streaming the same content. Same thing, vice versa. That way we can both. It's actually a really nice feature. They used to do what's called stream together on Twitch a long time ago. Now they have this thing called knock where like if I'm streaming, Twitch recognizes that, and then I can go to another streamer and click a button, then you have the ability to combine stuff. I've
got a couple questions to address from YouTube chat. We got what's the code for the pack? So if you check in the description of the stream on YouTube, you can see the Apex. There's a lot of info in there. Just check it out. There's like a Apex start.gg page plus the Discord is where we drop the training packs. I will also probably leave a tweet with all the 3 packs once this event is over. So you can go check out each of them. And then I also saw that X-Marker giveaway, y'all scammed me. He's saying that because he tried it in YouTube and it didn't work. We try to mention it every time we talk about the giveaway. It's actually in the description. Try going into the description and entering the giveaway that way. If not, you can go over to Twitch on one of our channels and type X-Marker giveaway, and it will pop up for you to sign in. It's really easy. Just put a name and email, and we'll be drawing in about 53 minutes. I say about, and I just put the exact time.
I mean, it's pretty accurate about. As for everybody else too, the big reason why you want to join the Discord is we're going to be taking a lot of your guys' submissions and feedback for like content ideas and stuff too. So if you guys want to have like a way to be directly impactful on the live event that we do,
or be featured on the live event too.
Yeah, December 5th to 8th. You know, if you guys tweet at us too, use hashtag the Apex. That stuff has a chance to show up on broadcast. We'll have a lot more updates on that, but I think the 2 best things you can do if you type !Apex in chat, it has all the links. If you're on YouTube, it's in the description. The Star GG, which is the hub, which is for people that are trying to compete and see what the formats are and all that kind of stuff. It does all the fine details. The Discord is if you're trying to submit your times and if you want the training pack codes right now. Eventually, we will also have the suggestion page in there for anybody who wants to have like their voice heard and be like, hey, how can I if you would have doubled that, would have been sick. If you want to have your voice heard, if you want to have like suggestions of like, oh, this person's involved, I would love to see this content piece, or I would love to see these 2 people interact, or this is a cool storyline, you know, things like that, so you guys can be involved. And then the last one, I can't remember. Star GG, Discord. What's the last thing?
The Apex RL on Twitter.
Yes, Twitter. Apex RL on Twitter. That's for updates. That's for progress. That's for clips. That's for
announcements.
All the cool stuff. And then if you guys tweet at that, or if you tweet hashtag the Apex during the events, we'll be looking at those, and then we can feature you guys on broadcast. If you guys have questions for people, like, we're trying to give you guys as much community involvement as we can. So
yeah, that's a big thing too. We might try to involve you guys directly on the Discord during the event to ask questions, to maybe interact with people in the Discord, and we come up with like some sort of fun game that you guys can do while the broadcast is going on, and then we can reveal the results of those things. We can do a lot of fun stuff during it. We want to involve you guys as much as possible, and showcase maybe some like talented artists or something. We show some Apex art and stuff. Like, that'd be great.
I always love community art submission stuff. People are so talented in this space. Like,
you'll have like a meme that happens on the first day of a qualifier, or say first day of the LAN, and then someone draws up that scenario. Like, it's crazy. So if you want to do like an art submission,
I can't wait for Kogut animations, dude. Like,
oh yeah,
the one he just posted. Oh, there's the pinch. I haven't seen this yet. I haven't seen anybody go for it.
He's gonna go for it. Oh, he's gonna go safe.
He still pinches it instead of trying to like pop it off.
It does pop nicely.
It is definitely faster. I agree with you, Ben. Ben and producer in the back, you guys can hear him. Shout outs to Ben for all the work he's doing behind the scenes for you guys. But yeah, it does definitely look faster. Also, teed up for Lethamyr. Please explain the format for the actual in-person tournament. Is it a 3v3? Is it more packs? What's going down?
Yeah, so I'll explain all of it. Here we go. So once we have this qualifier finished,
not all
we'll
of
have
it.
one.
Leave some secrets.
Oh yeah, of course. I'm not going to reveal people.
Okay.
I'm also going to not leak anything. Also, I just want to make sure my stream didn't go down because my YouTube creator just. Okay, we're good. Yep, it just like disappeared. I just got like an off snap like error. We're good. Yeah. So how this works is this qualifier. This is day 3 of the qualifier. This will decide our ninth and final player coming to the Apex, which is at my house. So whoever is the fastest player here will get an all expenses paid trip. That is flights, lodging, food, everything. It's all covered. You're going to come to my house and be part of this event. It'll be a 3-day broadcast, but the important dates to remember are for the 4th to 9th of December for whoever qualifies. Travel in day is on the 4th. We have a media day on the 5th, and then 6th, 7th, and 8th is all of the broadcast. How this is going to work is it's a 3 teams of 3 round robin system before in the group stage, and then we have a grand finals on day 3. So how it works is we have 12 custom maps, all within a very, very cool looking the Apex background. We've imported, I say we because me, Simple Shark, and Swaggles have been working tirelessly to import 12 custom maps made by a bunch of notable community members, map makers, where the players that come to the LAN and compete will be banning and picking these maps for the format. So we don't really know what maps are going to be picked until the players actually decide what they want. So we're going to have all that prepared for you guys. There's going to be ways that we determine the captains that don't revolve around Rocket League, actually. There's going to be different things. I'm not going to share all of them, but I did mention the penalty kick at some point. So maybe like goal accuracy in real life with your feet rather than with your car. So that's really cool. We want to do things like content pieces like chess matches and sort of sprinkle that in throughout the event. Also, if you come to the event, I want to quickly mention our sponsor once again, Thrustmaster. You'll be getting one of these controllers, the Heart controller, plus SH5 sticks for the eSwap. So lots of goodies. I also have on the floor here a set of lanyards. I'll just pick out one for now, but we have these lanyards, which are custom made for the Apex. This is a VIP lanyard, so this will be anybody that's visiting or being part of the background. I have a couple of special guests. I don't want to mention any of the names yet, but lots of cool community members that are coming to be part of this. Maybe hop on the couch and do some interviews. There's also okay, so I'll explain the rest of the format. So the round robin is 5 rounds of 3 teams playing in a round robin. So team A versus C, A versus B, and then B versus C. There's 3 games per team face off, and so that means there's 9 matches total. Every match that you play is for $111. So it's a set of 3 per team, and that will determine how well you do overall for the grand finals. The grand finals is the top 2 performing teams, and those 2 teams will face off in a best of 7, where they play out of those 12 maps, they play 7 of them. So it'll be a really cool way. We're not going to reveal exactly how that map pool for the finals works, but every round in the round robin will be selected by a captain. It'll probably be the lowest. I think we're doing the lowest performing team gets to pick the next map.
Yep.
It might be randomly drawn, or for the first one, it might be randomly drawn, or the last captain, since they are like technically last seed for their team.
Yep.
And then, of course, picking the last 6 players is going to be through a snake draft. There's a lot of fun stuff how we're doing all that. We plan on doing trivia throughout the event, fun little games you guys can play with us. Like we mentioned before, you might be able to control the camera that sees the whole basement, the whole land setup. It's a lot. My dad and I have been working tirelessly to put together the basement in a really cool way and showcase the players and give them a space that feels comfortable for them to play and be themselves. We want to showcase personalities. We want to have a lot of fun. The other broadcast talent that we'll reveal soon, they're great. I'm good friends with them. They're gonna fit right in. They already have a lot of ideas for what they want to do, and that pinch was crazy. Do you see that?
One of them makes me a little nervous, but it's a good nervous.
Yeah, one of them is like wild card, beyond wild card, but that's not a bad thing. I think that just adds more to the fun.
Yeah, TLDR, man, we're trying to do anything and everything we can to make a fun and memorable event. The actual tournament itself is custom maps played by very high level players, which has never been done before, and we're allowing them to pick and choose what they play, which I think is a very exciting way to do it. So overall, I think we're trying to provide as much space to let the event breathe, so fun and organic things can happen. If you guys are familiar with the Rocket League space and have seen the gold rushes and the Beyond the Summits and stuff, I promise you we will find a way to play Mafia at some point.
I'm excited for that.
Like legitimately, like I am so ready to run back Mafia. I'm probably gonna have to be the one who admins it, so I won't be able to play. But I think half the fun of Mafia is just watching and seeing what is happening. So I think it's a very entertaining thing that's like I can't give you enough love to Beyond the Summit for making it a staple with all their Smash events and everything. And obviously this community absolutely loved it with BTS the last time, with Turtle and CJ and Speed, and if we can get even 1% of the magic that was created from that, I'm excited. I'm very excited. I think all the players that have been informed of kind of the intentions are looking forward to just having a really good time. And you know what, the fact that they're competing for 10 grand on top of it is kind of just like a happy accident, you know. It's the real reason we're coming together. And again, thank you so much to Epic Games for trusting in us. I can tell you a lot of this has been a conversation with them that's been going on for a very long time, especially for myself, talking with the competitive team and being like, this is the vision. It's going to be ever evolving. What can we do? And they've like, green light, guys. Like, really, really make this event what you want. Like, they've given us freedom to do some stuff that in the past legitimately was not possible. So massive thank you to Epic and the competitive team over there and everybody else we've worked with and their socials team and everything. And again, massive thank you to Thrustmaster for supporting the event and providing us opportunities. So yeah, it's been legitimately 2 years of planning and working and putting stuff together, and it's constantly being refined. And legitimately, we're trying to do it for you guys. We want this to be a yearly thing for everybody to look forward to, but that doesn't happen unless people really support it. So we appreciate it when you guys show up. We appreciate you guys when you interact with us in chat. We appreciate you guys when you're actually doing these packs. If you guys want to reward yourself, spend a little bit of money, which comes back to the event as well. Check out the merch, !merch in chat. Very high quality stuff. Really good way to directly support and get something for it. Direct, I have confirmed, has already spent $10 billion on all those beanies. He's already bought it out of stock. Not actually true, but I know he definitely will be getting one, knowing him. But all the hoodies and all that kind of stuff I have on the way. I can't wait to test them out and see what they look like. But yeah, it's gonna be fun, guys. I am, as someone who's been covering this game for 9+ years, I am just genuinely excited to watch people compete, which is admittingly something that like has kind of like, when you've seen so much of these events live in person, it's again, it becomes kind of templated. You're like, yep, competitive Rocket League, people are gonna do cool stuff. You know, it kind of diminishes returns wise for you. But I've never seen people compete in training packs like this. I've never seen people play custom maps at a high level with stakes on the line in this degree. Like, the closest we've got is Gold Rush. So I'm genuinely excited to watch this stuff develop. I have no idea what is actually going to happen when it comes to the competition, and that is so exciting for me. I just know that people are gonna have a good time, and I think people's faces are gonna hurt from smiling and laughing so much.
I hope
Genuinely.
so. I really hope so. I'm getting restless at night, like knowing how exciting and fun this event is going to be.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of bad actually. For my own health, this event needs to come quicker because I can't sleep at night. I'm like coming up with so many ideas and like things like the way that we can format the space and the way we can use it and have fun with it. And I hope the players really enjoy it and
Yep.
you know, they obviously give me feedback on how it felt and how the event ran. I'm hoping to make it as comfortable as possible for them, and fun, just like a good time. I think it's going to be a completely new environment to some of these players that have never been in a more casual Rocket League competitive space. Because at the end of the day, they're usually on RLCS stages. Like, yeah, that was a crazy shot too.
He's
They're
going
usually on
for a
RLCS
pinch.
stages.
We saw Royales just jump into it and let it roll, but he's trying to speed that up with a pinch.
We usually see Rocket League like pros in the sweatiest, most like, you know, this is the life on the line, career life on the line sort of moments, which is cool in its own right. But to have those players relax a little more and open up their personality and be able to like show off like just how fun they can be and that community feel is what we're going for. So that's unfortunate.
Yeah. Again, this one's deceptive. It's just such a long ways away on the approach that like it just tricks you.
This is Water, who I think is top
Water had
4.
a really good run. Yep. He's 4th right now, I'm pretty sure.
4th.
Yep. Again, it's interesting to see that he's already going out for some of these strategies that are a bit riskier, like that pinch on that side to ramp.
Oh,
Again, I'm trying to look at the Discord and seeing where like current submissions are unverified. Royales put up a 331.
331. Okay.
That's,
And we did watch.
that's
I think
pretty
that
darn
might have
quick.
been the run we watched because that was
Yeah, I think
pretty
so.
quick.
That's fast.
He did need to make up like a 20-second differential. So if like Dongsku and Kevin can't get below 4 minutes or like 350, like Royales could take it. But I expect Dongsku and Kevin to be grinding all day because this is do or die at this point. They need that final run to be submitted and be solid. And it's for 24 hours to do a 3-minute segment. You're gonna have a lot of attempts to get that 3 minutes. Is Canada not eligible for giveaway? No. Everywhere is pretty much eligible. Thrustmaster said that they could ship pretty much anywhere, so don't worry about that. The merch is U.S. only, though, unfortunately. So if you aren't a U.S. citizen, I actually can't get the merch myself until Ben brings it to me for the event. So I'm excited to finally get my hands on it. But for the controller, for the heart controller, extra store giveaway in the chat on Twitch and the description. Definitely sign up now because we've only got 40 minutes or so before we do the giveaway. You get this controller right here in this lovely box. There it is. So make sure you sign up, email and name, and we'll be drawing in about 40 minutes. So definitely get in there before we start. Your longest viewer ever is here. Well, welcome, Mayhin. Thanks for being here. Bring a new life to Rocket League. Hey, we both appreciate that because we've been trying to brainstorm how to come up with a creative format that is completely different and never seen before. We wanted to do something different for the players. I like how many times have they loaded into a tournament and loaded into the same standard field? It's probably, they can't even count how many times they've done it. This is something different. It's a new custom map shape, courtesy of Rocket League themselves and the Rocket Lab space. Like there's so many maps that aren't explored and there's so much untapped potential for what you can do with these. Like we're seeing 3 different unique packs on 3 different maps, and people are having a lot of fun with it. People are saying that like, there's a lot of positive reception, a lot of feedback we're getting, and I'm really happy with how they all turned out. Huge shout out to Waiton, Linkaroo, and Thanovic once again.
Yeah, there's, again, when we talk 2 years of kind of planning like this event and what it wanted to be, like this is so for those that don't know, like I've been doing consulting work a lot over the last couple of years, and usually when I make a proposal, there is a tiered process for the budget. There's tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3. And tier 3 is like the above and beyond, the dream scenario. And we're in tier 1. Like, this is a pilot. This is us testing the waters, trying to make sure we do whatever we can to make a really cool situation happen. That is unlucky. And
he just like gave up
yeah,
on
he's
it.
just like,
He's like,
nope.
okay.
He's like, yep, I
Moving
accept my
on.
fate. But because of that, it's like there is certain things that we definitely have lofty ambitions to that we have to put in the back burner. And because of that, we've had to accommodate and change things up and find ways to accommodate within our restrictions. And the goal is that if we can continue to do this year after year and the financial support is there and we can continue to really amplify this, we genuinely want this to become a staple in the community. We want you guys to be able to every single year look forward to this event at whether it be at the beginning, at the end of the year, or the dream is both. Like once before the season starts and once when the season ends, right? So the goal is obviously a lofty ambition, but the number one thing we wanted to do is bring people together. We wanted to bring the community together. We wanted as many community figures involved if they're willing to. We wanted to be able to make sure that people are in person and able to show that interactivity that I feel a lot of us are lacking, because as we both have, kind of mentioned, people have kind of stuck in their own niches nowadays. As the space has evolved, people kind of just focus and do their own thing as individual growth is there. And it's tough to get people together. Like, I'm very happy to see like things that haven't been announced yet, to get some of these big name creators and some of these people to say, you know what? This is technically a detriment to what is good for my personal stuff, because it is a time I'm away from my computer. But I know that as a collective, this is something that I want to be a part of, which we cannot thank people enough for. Like, that is a very
even for
selfless
me,
thing.
like reasonably, this is a lot of work and a lot of time. And same with like those projects for like custom apps. It financially isn't reasonably, something that logically you'd want to do, because it's like you could just do what you do every day and just do your daily videos and just stick with that and have more free time. But it's a passion project. These things, like, we wanted to put together to celebrate the game in such a unique way. And I
see Roger's message.
I did not. What did he say? Is Coconut going to be able to play in the LAN since he is in your basement? Oh gosh, we'll have to see if I let him out. Oh gosh.
Do you remember that? So one time during the brawl when I was casting with Brody, his mic messed up and it sounded like he was across the room.
Oh yes, yeah.
So he just started yelling help.
There's this recently too. Simple Shark in I think it was the Backrooms video, where his mic was like, it was like a radio. Like he was like, we kept making him have it to like say things like a pilot would say, like we're cleared for takeoff and stuff. Because
Captain speaking.
Yeah, stuff like that. Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah, I'm excited to just let people's creativity kind of flourish and have some fun. There's going to be probably like a 10-hour monologue at the very end, just going through a long list of thanking everybody over and over and over again, because it has been, while yes, like Leth and I are the leads on this and putting it all together and doing all the heavy lifting, there is some other very serious roles, like our production partner, and shoutouts to Ben, who's clicking all the buttons in the background. Like, he just clicked that button to bring it to this. Like,
also, I want to mention before we switch there, do you see that little thing at the bottom that says "Don't pause"? What's up with that?
What do you mean?
I keep seeing it on Twitter too. If the Rocket League update like says "Don't pause" for some reason, I don't know if that's like alluding to something. You see on the bottom there? It's weird. What is that? It says "Don't pause." Whenever you pause, it says "Don't pause." It's like, why? I don't understand what is what that's about.
Great. Like, a lot of games have to put in that thing where it's like, you've been playing for X amount of hours. Go outside, take a break. This
game's like, actually keep playing, keep going.
Like, don't stop, keep playing. Never put.
Is it like motivation for the 24-hour challenge? Don't pause, just keep going in the training pack. Do it over and over again.
Yeah. We worked specifically with Epic to implement that to encourage all of our runners. We didn't actually do that. Just
actually, they're all paused right now. They're actually all paused. That's why we're here, because they're all just sitting on a pause menu. But it's great to see these competitors still like taking it so seriously, and I mean, they know what's on the line. It's a lot on the line.
Yeah, it's been a pretty cool event. I'm very, very happy how things have come together. Obviously, the heavy lifting is in a few weeks. As a reminder for anybody who does want to tune into that, the main event, like, this is our skeleton crew. By the way, all the graphics packages and stuff like that are dope. This is
us two and one person behind the scenes. And a couple others, a couple creatives that are getting graphics together. But we're gonna have a team of like 10 to 12 people just behind the scenes of all the cameras and all the production, all the transitions, all the artwork.
I wish this
all
is
the
something where I
stats.
could be like, hey, Ben, gush about what we have planned, but I much rather when you guys tune into the broadcast for the first time be like, oh my, like, are
Like,
you
quality.
kidding me? Yeah, it's gonna be like we're trying to bring the superstar AAA team out.
I mean, I've been
for-
seeing there's a development chat in the internal Discord, and I'm seeing like all the stuff they're working on. I am so excited to see it all come together, especially in a custom map format like this. Like, it's gonna be so unique. I'm really excited for it.
Yeah. And I quote, there's certain things we are utilizing that only AAA studios have. So
Not even
yeah.
stuff I know about yet, so I'm excited.
Yeah, there's some things. I think I know what he's alluding to based upon some of the programs that we had made, correct, Ben? I got it correct. So yes, there's some things that I know about that Lethamyr doesn't know. I'm sure there's some things Lethamyr knows about that I don't know about. Like, I don't know his cat's name. Mr. Fluffles.
This is Nyla. Say hello.
Much better name than Mr. Fluffles. That cat cannot be bothered.
Hello.
Is the cat gonna be hanging like?
Oh,
is
she'll
the
be
cat
around.
chill around people?
Yeah, she'll be around. She's
Sweet.
She's pretty chill. She's pretty friendly. She might come say hi during the broadcast. We'll see.
I'm down.
Oh.
W mascot. That's Nyla.
This is Nyla. Nyla. Oh, she's gone. There she goes. There she goes. She's around 2 years old. We got Nico, who's around 5, and you probably won't see Buttercup much. We might have her come down, but she gets easily stressed. She's 15 years old. We don't want to stress her out too much.
Yeah, that's fair.
She has asthma. We have a little puffer. It's kind of adorable.
We would bring Maple, but Maple's a terror to all things living, people included, and we'd never be able to run the broadcast because you'd hear her breathing the whole time.
Oh, dude, I just thought of something. We put Nyla in a room, right? And we hide her for a second. We have like all the pros and creators and qualified players. We have them all 9 in a circle, and we each give them a treat, and we see who Nyla goes to.
You are the captain.
It's just like a bunch of people
doing their best cackle. Here, kitty, kitty, kitty. Like just yeah, just.
She just like implodes internally. She like doesn't know which way to go. She's like,
That's so many treats. There's so many treats. I'm gonna have to show up early and start conditioning.
I wasn't gonna repeat that anyway. Production. Oh man.
Again, it's tough to wrap our head around it because it's like, as of late, it's just been like a theory, right? It's just been like this is what we're trying to accomplish, this is what we're trying to do. But now it's like there's no turning back. It is happening. It is real.
I mean, Lawler can attest that like my excitement cannot be contained because I keep just sending update photos of how the basement is looking. Like every time I do something, I'm like, here, look at this light I just moved, and like here, look, there's now another
Anybody
light.
who turned in the broadcast yesterday can see your excitement. You literally played with a light for like 15 minutes.
Oh, because I mean, like I know what lighting does to a scene, right?
It makes a huge difference.
It's a huge difference. So like I know that like just adding a few studio lights here and there, and also I want to make the ambiance like really nice. And like I just ordered black and yellow solo cups. Like it's like all those little details where it's gonna make it feel more of like a cohesive theme. The basement, I've showed a few photos of it, but I don't think people understand the gravity of like this basement setup. Like my dad did all of the cabinetry work, and we picked out yellow tiles. Like the whole thing looks sweet. I think it just like came together really nicely. At some point, there's gonna be booths with extra tiles on the wall, like subway tiles. Like lots of plans for the basement. Whether or not we get to keep this house for as long as that, that will happen, we'll see. But it's just been a lot of work behind the scenes to get it all ready. I mean, I had the vision to do this before building the house, so it has been literally over 2 years in the making, at least for like my ideation. Because Lawler came to me, I think about a year and a half ago about doing something.
Yep.
You're like, you have the space, the brand and all this stuff. I was like, yeah, this is amazing because it's exactly what I've been wanting to do since like starting content creation.
So I've been workshopping the concept of bringing back Gold Rush BTS style event for about 2 years, maybe a little bit longer. It was basically I was losing my mind during COVID, and I was like, when we get out of this, we got to find a way to celebrate if I can. But I know I'm not gonna be able to do it alone. It's a lot of heavy lifting. The last time I ran a tournament, it was pretty much all solo, and I almost went insane trying to do the brawl. It was too much, and that was even with the help of like ESPN when we were doing stuff. So it was a it was a thing that I'm like, I can do this better, especially with the experiences that I've had lately with the contracting work and stuff that I've been doing. But it is still going to take some serious help and some leniency from Epic, which again, I'm going to thank them every chance I get, because if it was not for their willingness to give us kind of the keys, has been pretty cool. So with that in mind, it has been a process of slowly iterating on what the format is, how I want to approach it, all that kind of stuff. And then very thankful Lethamyr came in with the content brain of ways that we can ramp this up to 11 and really have some fun with it. You know, we're still at the mercy of the players and their willingness to truly showcase who they are as individuals, but I'm very much so thinking that the environment that we are creating is going to enable that wholeheartedly. Very wholesome and genuine people on the project that I've come to become friends with very closely over the years, Leth included. So I'm very excited. I really am.
It's gonna be like, you know, passion, baby. Like it's something that we are putting a lot of love and care into. Everybody is really invested in this. They want it to be the best production and best entertainment for you guys. And we want to involve you guys, like we said, as much as possible. So that's the goal. That's what our aim is for the 6th to 8th of December. Definitely be there. Like, make sure you're there on those days. At least, like, even if you can't watch, just leave it open. Just, like, hang around. Maybe give it a listen if you can't watch directly. Like, we're going to be doing a lot of audio. Like, you know, we're going to read out tweets if you want to tweet at us or whatever. We want to get you guys involved. So that's the goal. Definitely check it out. Be there for those days as much as possible. It's really appreciated. If it shows Epic and shows the game that this is what you guys want to see. Stuff like this, more fun stuff, more personality-driven content, things, not just celebrating the game and the people that make it run. Because there's so many creators out there and so many pros that are motivating people to play the game at all times. Like there's always, probably like every day, there's somebody new who's like, oh, I watched John Sandman's old video of when he did an F2 run, like way back when, like, and it's like, that was really cool.
Buddy. Yeah.
Was that?
I mean, that's what thanovic talking about. That's how he got into the game. He's like, I watched John Sandman. He was super energetic. It made me want to start watching more. And then he's like, hey, this pro Lichinio was the one that hooked me. And all of a sudden now we have 2 creators where he's from, you know, like it was.
Yeah. And a lot of the early pros
very big impact.
Were motivated by like Kronovi and Pashy, like that 1v1 that they did. Like that. Those are the top 2 1v1 players at the time. And that's what got a lot of people involved.
Dude, it's crazy. Like, despite being on broadcast every single weekend for years with the RLCS, the still #1 thing is, when are you going to be in another video with Lethamyr? To which our response is, we're doing a LAN together.
That's a pretty good video.
Yeah.
Streamed video for like 8 to 9 hours.
Right.
Yeah, this is just like, I think that you really hit the nail on that when you said this is just a taste. Like,
oh god, people have no idea.
This isn't even 10% of what to expect. Like, it's been a lot of fun hanging out here and just kind of like, you know, just vibing out while we watch some. Like, we're doing a watch party of these guys, like, like theory crafting basically. But there's so much more that's gonna happen. There's so much more productions.
Holy, is Water a freestyler or something? Because like some of these mechs are.
I do want to look up his Twitter and see what he's up to. Cause, I mean. Like, at one point he was top 100 apparently, so at
one point he was top 100. But did he go into freestyling or something? Because like ball control, going for pogos and stuff, the musties, like feels very freestyler-esque. Like the freestylers just have a certain type of movement when they play. Like the musty that they hit, like it just seems to be always a very certain way. Like I don't know.
I can't flip reset or musty and water is casually just freestyling both into their run. Yeah, I'm not really sure.
Dude, they're so good, man.
I know I don't know if this is like a legitimate run from him because I've seen him do faster. He might be just like going through comfortably, taking a break.
Yeah, a lot of this is just, hey, I'm gonna keep my mechanics warm while still going through the shots and becoming familiar. Might not be a bad idea.
Just so we can improvise if he needs to, right? Like that's improvisation is a huge part of these training pack challenges. Nothing's ever going to go perfectly the same way every time. There's ways to like somewhat repeat things, but like this shot, timing this is like so difficult. So you got to have contingency plans in place to time this.
Turn off ball cam so we can.
I don't know if I've seen anybody get the. Okay, well,
Nice.
I was just gonna say I don't know if I've seen anybody actually get the direct shot, and then he did it right there. So.
Yeah. Now, as a reminder, Wet Paint, you're like, hey, I can't do either of these things, and this guy's doing it, no problem. At the same time, these training packs are made so if you can't do those things, they are still accomplishable. There is a margin of error. The training packs for everybody, if you check out the Discord, or if you go to !Leaderboard, it'll pull up the Speedrun website. They're all on there as well. These were made and tested by me to make sure, like, hey, I who is a no mechanics GC to the epitome of that, have been able to 100% all 3 of these packs.
And we're seeing Game Time, who's a champ too, pull up 7-minute runs like in these, which is great.
Yep.
I know of a couple gold players who have gotten like some completions around like 15 minutes. So
that's sick.
It's awesome to see.
That's
like
so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, highly recommend. Again, if you guys are just trying to look for something to do, you want to challenge yourself a little bit. These are a cool way that I recommend people actually warm up for ranked. Like, don't go into rank completely cold. Pull up one of these training packs, try to get 100% completion, and then when you do, it's like, all right, I'm ready to go. Like, you might surprise yourself, because I know a lot of people that do not warm up before they go into rank. That's all they do. They just boot up the game, they play for their couple hours, and then they're done.
It's not a bad run, even though he's trolling. Like, not trolling, but like, you know what I mean? Like, just going from crazy mechanics, slippery sets all the time. Like, he's doing musties off the wall and stuff. This is still a sub 10 minute run here. I want to quickly mention too that you want to join in this giveaway before we do it in 20 minutes for the heart controller. Thanks to Thrustmaster. Definitely sign up right now as soon as possible to be ready for the draw in 20 minutes.
Yeah, check out so unfortunately the @here/@everyone was on in the Discord, so glad we caught that early. But go check out that clip in general in the public Discord for the Apex.
Let's see this?
That recovery could actually speed up some runs, because you clip it and then do that halfway flip to actually recover and go on the way out.
Let's see here.
Bean's a regular in my chat, and I think he brought this up earlier, and he's iterated on it a couple times. He's like a champ 1 or something like that, he said. But he's like, ramping that out and catching it might be faster.
That's interesting, because your car turns around.
Yeah. Again, it's all these little nuanced things, and it's like, again, like Bean's, like I said, a champ 1. He's challenging himself. He's pushing himself to the limits. Like, good on you, Bean. Keep after it, man.
Yeah, it's interesting. Interesting theory crafting. I mean, this is the kind of thing that we were expecting. Is just throughout the day, throughout the 24 hours, you're gonna see things change and shift the way they're approaching things.
Just when you just lean backwards, you just gotta get the timing right. Nice.
He tried it there a little bit. He ramped up. So that was kind of
he
kind of a situation there.
He's able to recover without the full flip.
Okay. All right, a little scoop.
All right, buddy. We get it. You're Mechie.
I really think this is just a more consistent way to do it. Just drive into it like
I
that.
really like that strat where you just clip it out like that.
Yeah. And there it is. I mean, that was like a very like kind of freestyle-y run, but it was still very, very good. To the ceiling. This is the last shot from Dongsu here. I can't really tell what he's doing. He goes like to 20, and I think he's going upwards after that one.
I think he's trying to. So there's 2 ways you can approach this. If you hit it hard.
Oh, I know the shot. I'm talking about like where he starts on his.
Oh
run.
yeah, he goes 1, then he drops down to like 27, I think. And he may have changed that, because 27 is the one where you have to like hit it out into the left, or it pings in and then falls out the right side. I'm back.
Whew. Bless you.
Thank you. That was a big one.
I mean, he's definitely trying to figure out like a very like consistent way to do this.
You're in a rush to get to it, but if you can hit it soft and control it, like, it's a tough read too. You can do it like that with the underside and then flip reset it. People are so good at this game, man.
It's disgusting. It really is. I mean, I'm one of them, so I don't. I mean, I just calling myself disgusting.
You are gross. Get out of here.
Ooh, what a touch. That's
Dang.
good.
That's
Actually.
speedy. That's so speedy. That not so much. Bang. A little change up. That shot is so deceptive though. Shot 6.
There's something really, really satisfying when you go
that's
through.
so clean, bro.
There's something really satisfying about going like when you see someone like go through the pack, like boom, boom, boom,
Yeah.
boom. Like it's just like so fun to watch.
Redirect. Nope, that's
Ooh.
a save. Bang. Nice.
I feel like save packs would be interesting to iterate on. It's just hard to get it to work because literally all you need, the only metric it is just touching the ball once and it will.
Right, just redirecting it elsewhere.
Yeah, I wish you could like mess with the.
Whoa,
Maybe
what
you
a
can now.
drift.
I haven't
clean.
really. Oh, that's cool.
Tokyo drifting. Look at Donksu. No way, bro.
Once again, he's
No
trying.
way.
He's trying to catch this ball as soon as possible because he knows he
Yeah.
needs that extra like. 3
Cutting
to
off
4
the time
seconds.
is so important. And like making sure that it doesn't go for the double, and if you can put it in straight away too, like those are gonna be the difference maker between the like the run that we saw where it was like 306 versus 304. Or like again, haven't looked at unofficial submissions in a while. I don't think we've Royales at the 331 is the last one that's been put up. So this is
I really
if
think
you-
a sub 3 is possible in this one.
So he does it differently than
Whoa.
people. A lot of people have been trying to get to the ceiling and then just pushing it for the double. He goes for the pinch and then just hits it on the follow.
But kind of
Like
that. I mean, that's clean.
Like that. Well,
All right, that's his. I guess that was a signal to start a run.
yeah.
So we'll see
There
how
we
he does
go.
the method here. He goes for 1, which he has to.
Straight to
goes
27.
right to
Yep,
27.
this is the problematic one. So he's trying to push it through to the other side.
It does pop out pretty
That
nicely. It's
is
like
that is so fast. The other one fastest I've seen is a shot at 2. Inches off. Gets the really good catch.
Oh, it went right in.
Oh my gosh.
He
And then
goes back to 20. right in.
First try. Oh, this could be a run. Hold up.
Dude, he's in the running for this, man.
Yeah, this is a
Oh. That ramp's awkward. Like it
yeah, 'cause
pops you to the
kicks
left
you back out. It's
Yeah.
great for the ball, right? Because it puts you
towards the net.
yeah. That pinch is not what he wants.
Oh, I think he's gonna
Yeah, he's
reset
got to
here.
restart. Oh, that's
Oh.
so unfortunate. He crushed the beginning of that too.
You might keep going just to see where he's at.
And 180 with a wave dash to pop. Oh. Again, doing all these shots consistently in a row, man, is not an easy feat.
It is not. It's 30 of them, and it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
It's also
Especially
just
'cause-
memorizing, right?
Yeah, we talked about accidentally, right? Like the time for completion has slowly ramped up with each pack. Like Linkaroo's what was the fastest? Like 212?
210.
Yeah, 210. And then we saw a 302? 304?
304.
This one I'm expecting to be like low 4s.
Well, we're already within.
Oh wait, well Royales is
Wait.
already at a 331. Never mind. So
I think it might actually be faster. This one might be sub 3. Because those ones, even the 331 had a lot of mistakes, like more so than
Dude.
the other packs. But it
people
might
are
be
so
harder.
good. People are so good.
So Waiton's, I think, was the longest.
People are asking to do an official run. So official run qualifier, Casey, you have to do shot number 1 first. You're able to fail it a bunch. Like say you keep missing shot 1, you don't have to start and reset every single time. So for an official run, restart your run with resetting the progress as well, because that's how we check to see if it's an official run. Upon completion of your first shot, so you have to do shot 1. After that, you can go in any order. And then when it goes from 97% to 100%, that's when your time stops. So for example, say you're doing it and you missed shot 1 first time, second time, third time, but you hit it the 4th time. We'll go and scrub your VOD to find that 4th time you made it. And when you put in your first input, that's when it begins, and then it ends when you go 97 to 100%, and we see that change in the top left of your completion. And then that's when your run ends. But the only requirement for order is you have to shoot the first shot first. If you have other questions, don't be afraid to ask.
I don't understand how pros can do this stuff. Lots and lots of practice, lots of hours. Like, even these players, when they first jumped into this pack, every shot was a mystery to them. They didn't know what was happening. So they did not hit these like these.
Nice
they
recovery.
Just good recovery. Oh.
Cutting that off is so difficult. He's gonna chase it down. Again,
I might try to do a video where I go for world record on these.
I think you should. I think the crazy thing here too is, like, you see how mechanical these guys are, and even though it's not the fastest route, and he's like, hey, I'm making an extra 2 touches, I'm gonna bonk it off of this thing because mechanically I can still have the recovery. He knows it's faster than resetting and letting that thing bounce in. So like, you're seeing some really creative ways of approaching this that are just purely I am reactionary to this. I'm just trying to do what I can to put this shot in first try, because the margin of error is just like, when you're trying to go for the best, like, we've got people literally seconds, like 3 seconds apart between who goes to land and who doesn't.
Like right there, what if he's like 1 second behind the time he needs, and that was like the one reset where he just doesn't
or
get
like
it.
that, like that goal going in on first try could be the difference between, oh no. Dude, pixels, man.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so frustrating. I commend these guys' mental fortitude.
Although I feel like if I was doing this like qualifier, like, I wouldn't even be raging. I would, like, it's actually just like a fun thing for me. Like, yeah, like for me, like, because it's more so just like it's like consistency is my thing. Like, that's what I go for in Rocket League. So like, I think once I get like a good,
he would have needed another Thrustmaster controller by the time he's done.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how good your sticks are. If you smash that thing, like, you're gonna you have rage problems.
That's the real goal, to increase sales for Thrustmaster, make a difficult pack so much that everybody's raging that they gotta buy more.
Oh my goodness. Speaking of Thrustmaster, just if we can pop that up on the screen for a quick second, Xbox giveaway. We are 9 minutes out from the giveaway for the Thrustmaster Heart controller. I've got one right here. Oh, I just dropped the other box, but there it is. You'll get one of these. There's one giveaway today in 9 minutes, and we'll have 2 more on the LAN days from December 6th to 8th. We're not exactly sure when yet. We'll announce when we're going to be drawing those. But definitely sign in now. Sign up. Put your name and email in there. We'll be drawing in about 9 minutes. And we'll ship it over to you guys. I guess Thrustmaster will ship it over to you guys. I don't believe there's any restrictions on where they can deliver. So
no, they said worldwide. They're pretty comfortable with it.
Pretty comfortable with worldwide. So wherever you are.
Hey, let's go duds.
Make sure to sign up there. Also, if you're in YouTube, instead of doing Xbox Heart giveaway, go into the description.
Yo, I'm gonna steal this. If you want to full screen it. Yo, duds. If you guys don't know, there's a bunch of tournaments going on in the community. One of them is the Login Championship over in South America. Duds and the guys over there just shot us a massive raid. Greatly appreciate y'all.
Holy.
Thanks for sending the crew over and stuff. As a reminder to everybody watching, whether you're our community with myself and Lethamyr or over there, all these events in the off season are heavily supported by Epic Games. The best thing you guys can do, sign up, compete in them, play in them, watch them. All that stuff tells them we want more. So again, massive thank you. Thank you for sending the crew over and helping us out as well.
Also, you guys showed up at the right time for the giveaway. Put it on screen again if you don't mind, just so they can get in there.
Yeah, we're running a giveaway right now if you guys want. Lethamyr, do the thing. You're really good at it.
Yeah. The qualifiers. The qualifiers are. This is not me doing that. This is the production. The qualifiers are sponsored by Thrustmaster Heart. It's a brand new Heart controller from Thrustmaster. Do Xbox Heart giveaway right now in the Twitch chat. If you'd like to sign up, we're actually doing a draw in about 6 minutes. Thrustmaster Heart is a Hall effect accurate technology.
It is global for everybody.
It is global shipping as well for the controller. But the controller I have right here, I've been using it for about a week and a half. It is super consistent. The sticks use Hall effect technology, which basically allows it to measure to a 0.01 degree accuracy versus much lower accuracy and sporadic polling from the stock controllers. I've done a couple videos showcasing that. You can see the difference in the stock Xbox controller versus these controllers. They're so much more accurate, and that box mod plugin is very, very trustworthy. It is made by much more talented programmers than I am. Like they know what they're doing. But these are super consistent controllers. They feel great. They're easy to transfer. A lot of people like have gripes about switching controllers because they're so used to the shape of the controller, but this one is so similar. It's so easy to switch over to this thing, and it will be a financially responsible thing to do because they last a lot longer. And even if you have the eSwap, for example, which is another Thrustmaster product, you can swap out the sticks very easily, even if you spill water on them or something goofy, or you smash your controller from doing this training pack and can't get past 10 minutes. It's much better option. Much better option. You can just replace the little pieces. They actually also swap out the modular triggers here too, so which wear out on normal controllers as well. It's really cool that they thought of all that. These are great options. Definitely check them out. Xmaster Heart in the chat as well, or in the description. Check out the new Heart controller.
Yeah, to answer a bunch of questions as well for you guys, if you're unfamiliar, the first thing for an easy one, people are asking if people have submitted times. Current fastest time that I've seen, I think unofficial, is 3.5 minutes from Royalis. So that is the 3:31 is the current. I think Donsku has a really good run too, but not officially submitted, so we'll have to keep track. But for those that are just joining us or don't know what's going on this weekend, this is the Apex. We are doing a $10,000 LAN event at Lethamyr's house, and if you want a chance to compete, if you haven't signed up already, it might be a little bit difficult. But for those that are, the way that it works is this entire weekend we have 3 custom training packs made. They are the ones that when you go into custom training in the game, you hit enter code, you type in the code. If you want that code, type !Apex. It'll pull up all the details for you guys. We'll do it for you actually.
Or go into the description on YouTube.
Yep, description on YouTube. Otherwise, all the information is there. But the way that it's working is everybody who's been competing this weekend has been competing these and doing these codes as quickly as possible. It's basically a speedrun challenge across 3 different training packs. One made by Linkaroo, one made by Waitin, and one made by Thanovic, who joined us earlier today. The person who has the fastest accumulated time across all 3, wow, he actually banks that in. That's crazy.
That's crazy.
But the person who does the fastest across all 3, we will invite all expenses paid to a LAN where they're competing for 10K in custom training maps and stuff. If you guys have been in the community for a while, if you guys remember Beyond the Summit, or if you guys remember Gold Rush, the events that were very player and creator focused, very fun, very laid back type, where personality driven, a lot of fun, not in-game type stuff and challenges and rock paper scissors tournaments and the mafia competition where
who's giving a bunch away? I feel like
when CJ you know, should have just saved Jazzo and didn't, and then had to propose to Turtle. You know, those are the types of things that like we are trying to do and bring back as much community interactivity and stuff. If you guys want to make sure you're a part of that, go to the Discord, join that Discord. There will be a suggestion channel in there as well, or the Apex RL on Twitter is your best friend. It's the easiest way to stay up to date on all things going on. Or you can either follow, support both myself and Lethamyr. Both of our channels on Twitch as well as YouTube will be streaming the entirety of the event, so there is no way to miss it out. Okay, like you will be able to see it. I promise. We are almost overzealous about all the social media posts and everything we're trying to do. So
we'll be doing also recaps afterwards, like video segment, like video summarizations of like certain parts of each round, all that stuff. There'll be lots of good stuff to watch even in that format after the fact too. So
if you guys want the current code, it is pinned in chat up top. Otherwise, I just put it in chat for you as well. But if you want to see all 3 training packs, go check out the Discord, or if you type !Leaderboard, it'll pull up the speedrun.com option.
Once again, that's all on Twitch. So just
my recommendation is actually go into the Discord, because then not only can you get all the training packs, but then you can also get the opportunity to interact with the suggestions and stuff like that if you guys want to make your voices heard.
Ben is talking to us in our ear, by the way. We're if you want to summarize what he just said, Lawler.
Yeah, as well for everybody, like, even though you guys may not have been involved in the actual, like, official qualifier for the Apex, those speed runs are still going to be live. The training pack codes will still be live. So over time, the staff over at speedrun.com will verify your runs and put you in the official leaderboard. So if you're just trying to get your name on the leaderboard, be in the top, 15, the top 100, whatever it is, still try them. You don't have to do them this week, and you can always do them in the future. They're fun to do. It's part of the reason why we made them, is to give you guys something different to do as part of the community, which is always super fun. So the last thing that we're going to shill for, number one, shout outs to Epic Games. Thank you for supporting the event. Thank you for allowing us to do this and helping with all the operations, logistical stuff, and the prize pool. Shout outs to Thrustmaster Heart, the controller provider, as well as our official title partnership for the qualifiers. They'll also be joining us with the live event in capacities as well. We'll show you guys that when the time comes. And massive thank you as well to us. Shout outs to you, Lethamyr, and everybody else. If you guys do exclamation point merch,
it's been great.
Yeah.
I loved like running this whole qualifier, like doing a watch party system. Thanks to Ben for sticking with us through the whole thing. It's been amazing. I think it's about time now for merch.
Yeah, if you guys want to support us directly, all proceeds are going to growing and building upon the event. Plus, it allows you guys to get some cool merch back. You guys do exclamation point merch in the chat. Go check it out. Any people who order now, you are able to get your merch very likely before the event goes live, as well as it allows you to get a discount as well. So
now, Ben, are you drawing?
Getting a little bit down. So
because you're on the production side, are you the one drawing this? I just want to make sure how we're doing this. Yeah, I think we have. You're in the chat, so I'm just gonna try and figure this out real quick so we can make sure we do this properly. Let's see. Thrustmaster. I think there's a draw link that I need to go up here and find. Winner draw links, streamable, not for public sharing. So I think you can use this link right. I'm going to send that to Ben real quick. There it is. I think if we can just change the merch page over to that web page shortly.
Yeah, we want to be careful on that. I am okay with being careful on that.
You not showing any of this? Okay. Okay. Well, so we are doing the draw right now. If we can get, I don't know if there's a drum roll. I was just like,
I got this one. I'm gonna just play this.
I don't know if that's coming through your mic anymore. I heard it's a corner.
It definitely came through my mic. Justin is not the winner. Sorry, chat.
We are drawing the name.
Blue
All right.
Shark 5?
BLUSHARK 5. He's going to show this on stream in a second. He's going to drop the image in real quick. So is that going to be sending? Is that going to be sent to their email? I'm assuming.
I'm pretty sure they should get a notification via email notifying them, "Hey, you won the giveaway. Please respond. Give us your details so we can get it out to you." I'm pretty sure that's why they had to put in their email. So that'll be all handled on behalf of Thrustmaster. Thrustmaster will take care of all the coordination and stuff. They will ship it to you. Even when you click on the giveaway link, there's a bunch. As a heads up for anybody who did not win it, first and foremost, shout out to Blue Shark 5. Congrats. Thanks for signing up for the giveaway. Getting that W. Make sure you reply to that email so you can actually get it. That is important. We'll make sure to tweet that out and stuff too, just so we get a notification there if we can find them. But don't forget there's others and other giveaways going on during the main event. So when you guys tune in December 5th through the 8th, 6th, 7th, 8th?
6th to 8th. That'll be the live days. 5th is media day for all the players.
The 6th, the 7th, and the 8th. For those that are joining us and watching live, we will also be doing giveaways during those times as well. So still chances for you guys in the future. Shout out to Thrustmaster and the Thrustmaster Heart Controller. Appreciate you guys for the support. Very excited about all that stuff. So we are roughly in the final 30 minutes of our runs and coverage for today. As a reminder, people still have a whole lot of time to do this. They still have essentially, what, 20 hours?
20 hours after this, yep. 20 hours, 30 minutes.
Yeah, there's a lot of time still to improve. Lethamyr, every time we wake up, we always are like, okay, where are things at? And people shave off like 30, 40 seconds from their runs. So
yeah, I've been enjoying when I have time. Well, that just popped straight out. Did you see that?
Yeah,
I've never seen that before.
It's a little bit further. The best time I've seen is a shot being taken at 4 seconds. 4 to 3 seconds is when the shot's going towards the net.
But still, for it to pop out like that is interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been interesting. Like when I have time in the morning, I've been like checking out the EU streamers that are popping in and trying out the
like Kokon and
Kokon and all them, and they have like started working on it today. But then tomorrow morning they'll also pop out.
I haven't seen Delcourt at all.
I think he might have dropped out of the competition. We'll have to see if he does try. I mean, he is a solid like 30 seconds behind, and maybe he feels like he doesn't have the chance to get there. Let me just look at the runs here. So he's got 221. Just pack 2.
Very fast.
Pack 2, I don't see a verified run from him. Am I correct in saying that?
I think you'd be correct.
So I think after the 221, he couldn't get a low enough time that maybe he just didn't feel like submitting because he's just too far behind. That could be the case.
It just goes to show how competitive it is, man.
That is the case. Like Delcourt is the winner of the Immortals Progressive Island that just happened. The $2,500, I think it was the win, and it was a pogo bounce that he got, which is insane.
Dude,
so
the pogo bounce recovery is like one of the craziest things I've ever seen. Like jaw open, like to see no reaction out of him too when he hit that.
He had to focus, man. He had to keep going.
Gotta lock in and keep going. Was just
he was only like 8 seconds ahead of the next record. So like if he had to reset that level at all, it was over.
That's absolutely insane. Yeah, I mean, if we're talking current names to pay attention to, and again, there's always going to be chain zips in that. So like to put in perspective, Kokon, who's got a really good runtime, he was first in pack 1. He's 6th in pack 2. We don't have a submission for many in pack 3. You then go down the list and you go, okay, Kevin's 2nd in pack 1. He's 2nd in pack 2. Pack 3, we'll have to wait and see. I've seen a couple of his runs. They look pretty dang.
Is he 2nd? I thought he was 1st. Is he?
No, Dongsu came in with a 304.
Right. So yeah,
a 306.
It is crazy how close.
So he's got 2 second places. Water's in the conversation. He's 3, 4. We don't know how he's doing on pack 3. You've got Illuminous, who we've been watching a lot today. Illuminous is 4, 5. Maybe he busts out a really good run in 3. Royalis, who's been in the top 10 consistently. You know, he's got the current fastest time at 3:31. Like, dude,
crazy.
It's cutthroat. It is so cutthroat.
And that's what we were hoping for. We didn't know it was going to happen. Like, we had no idea, no anticipation of how this was going to go down in such a short amount of time. But the players have been very impressive. The dedication shows. And really huge thank you. I know that, like, unfortunately, we're only going to get one reward out of all these people trying this and really grinding. Mm-hmm. That is just the reality of a qualifier situation. And we do appreciate all the players embracing this new format and giving us feedback on how to improve it in the future. And also just a lot of insight from like the speedrunning guys about how like training packs are validated and all that stuff. Like, we are newbies to this, like this whole situation. It is a big, like, what's the word? Not upbringing. What's the word?
Undertaking.
Undertaking. Yeah, huge undertaking to make this all happen. It's a lot of moving parts. I know we're maybe beating the dead horse at this point, like broken record, but it just, we do appreciate that you guys are having faith in us to bring you entertaining and quality content. That's the end goal.
Yeah, it's again, a lot of this stuff is trial and error. Obviously it's very calculated trial and error, but a lot of the stuff is just kind of having to go with the flow and like seeing where it takes us, because at the end of the day, it is a concept. You know, it's a proof of concept. We're trying to make sure that when we put this together, obviously there's been refinements from day to day. I have a lot of confidence in the live event and how fun and awesome it's going to be to watch for everybody participating. But the training pack qualifiers there was definitely some nerves, and I've been like surprised with how smoothly things have gone. And I think a lot of credit goes to the people working diligently behind the scenes. Shoutouts to production, shoutouts to all of our social people, shoutouts to all of our graphic people. Massive thank yous to the speedrun guys, Plume and the rest, Thunder Surge, the people that are really helping with the official timings and giving us an easy leaderboard to follow, pay attention to. Like,
also shout out to the teaser trailer too. I don't mention that
trailer. Sick.
Trailer is so sick. Like it shows at the beginning of Kanoan like did an amazing job with that. Put it together really quickly. It came together amazingly. It played at the beginning of each of these streams, and we will definitely showcase it again on the main broadcast because it is just so clean. Oh, we have better things for the main broadcast. Okay, yeah.
Hey, this thing's super sick. Check it out. Just kidding. We got something better. Like,
that's crazy.
That's kind of the reality of how things have gone, man. Like,
yeah.
I'm like, just for anybody who's curious, like when I do these types of projects, or like if I hire an editor or anything like that, the people I hire, I try to put as much trust in, because then their creative vision can come forward, right? Like I don't want to provide limitations. I have a vision of what I want and stuff like that, but like the person who is under it, I want to give them essentially some of the creative freedom with like guide rails. Like, hey, this is kind of my vision. This is kind of what I want. Like, I can tell you guys the only theme I game for these guys is this is the title of the event. This is the kind of theme I want, and make it very like X Gamesy. And the stuff that they're coming up with, like I'm obsessed with our logo. I know it sounds silly, but the top right, like I am obsessed with what it looks like, how it looks on clothing, like. And it was the first iteration. Like SJ just came out, he's like, "How does this?" And I'm like, "That's so cool!" Like,
it was sick. Like right from the get go. I mean, we had a lot of talks about like the brand colors and all this stuff, and it really came together in such a way easier way than I expected. I honestly, it's been so far. I like fingers crossed like that we don't run into any big issues. I mean, there's gonna be a lot of uncertainties on the main broadcast days, but we are trying our best to mitigate that and approach it with like sort of that relaxed sort of we're just having fun. Like if production, like if something goes down, the internet goes down, or the power goes out because someone blew a fuse in the house, like
if
who
Lethamyr
knows?
makes a gesture with his hands and it forces his camera to follow him and zoom in on him or something, we'll just run with it, you know? Like, we're learning together, and we hope that you guys enjoy the goofiness that is what this can be. So with that in mind, for everybody that is tuning in and for everybody that is hanging out with us, first and foremost, we appreciate you being here. As a general overview of what's going down, today is the third and final day of qualifiers. We've been running these the last 3 days. Shoutouts to Waiton, Linkaroo, and Thanovic for helping us put together these training packs to make everything happen. What we are trying to figure out is after the end of today and going into tomorrow, we're going to do our best to tally up and verify all these runs, and this is very distracting, and to do our best to
just
make
think of me
sure
as the
that...
Subway Surfers of our stream.
Oh yeah, this is for all those Zoomers out there. Or is it Gen Alpha now? I forget which. But for everybody that is competing and stuff, we're going to try to verify the runs as quickly as possible and get all that stuff for you guys, so then we can say, hey, this is truly the number one. Also, Donsku, your runs are cracked. Thank you for the raid. But we are trying to figure out who the winner is so we can officially invite them to a full all expenses paid LAN where they're going to compete for $10,000 alongside some of their favorite content creators, some of their favorite pros, for what should be a very, very memorable time. The LAN itself is going to be on the 6th, 7th, and 8th of December. Our start time is 12 p.m. Eastern for the broadcasts.
Noon Eastern.
All that information, to be very easy for you all, is on the Twitter, the Apex RL. Very easy way to follow along. We highly recommend joining the Discord. We will put a suggestion tab in there for you all. So if you guys have ideas of, hey, this creator got announced, I would love to see them maybe do this content thing, or hey, we like this event, we've seen this stuff has been cool so far, what if you guys did this? We're happy to hear everything. We're happy to get any feedback, things you want to see. We will try to accommodate in what we can, both for financial reasons as well as just pure logistical.
I'll tell you, we've already went above and beyond what was the original expectations.
We are hoping that your guys' jaws are on the floor when you see this, and I'm confident in the team that we have, but I'm always open to hearing other opinions and other brains being like, my creative itch is this side, how about this type stuff. We want to get it interactive, we want to make it fun, but at the end of the day, the format for you guys is a final iteration. On the 6th, 7th, and 8th, we're going to start with the captain draft, and those captains are drafted in a very unique way. Don't want to spoil those. Highly recommend tuning into that. It's going to be a lot of fun. From there, we will then go through the snake style draft where these captains will pick their teammates, which in itself, I'm sure will be plenty of content if I've seen any snake style drafts in the past where everybody is there.
We're going to have them, like, we might have their heads on, like, little sticky things.
Oh, dude, it's going to be...
we'll have a lot of
can't wait.
stuff.
I can't wait for the people's reactions in the background to be like, oh, you picked me? Like, kind of stuff. Like, we'll figure it out.
Yep.
On top of that, then, once those teams are drafted, we will be doing a round robin tournament. So each team will play each team. A will play B, A will play C, C will play B, in a pick ban phase for 12 custom maps. These are the workshop maps that you guys have seen made by plenty of different creators. Leth, Swaggles, Shark, Macho, and others. We're going to put them all in a map pool of 12 maps. Captains can ban a couple of them, and then we'll pick and choose which ones they play on. Every game that they win, they'll be playing a set of 3. So 3 games no matter what. Every game you win, you get $111.11 for up to $1,000 per round. And the 2 teams that perform the best then go to the grand finals in a best of 7. And
for a prize split of $5,000. It's a huge grand finals.
And we're gonna be leaving a lot of those details quiet because I cannot wait for you guys to be involved in that.
And the reaction of the pros and
yeah,
the creators.
it's gonna
be fun.
It's gonna be fun. Yeah, a lot of cool stuff planned. It's ever evolving. We're gonna do everything we can, but at the end of the day, very laid back, very casual, very content focused, personality driven type vibes. If you guys have ever watched Beyond the Summit, if you guys have ever watched Gold Rush, it is going to try to pay respects to that as much as possible. We've talked about it. We want to bring back Mafia. We want to do all those types of things that are staples of this community thanks to the people that came before us. So nothing but respect for the people that came before us. But that is the lowdown. I highly recommend, if you guys aren't already, go support all the social medias, both my social media on Twitch here as well as Lethamyr's. Also, both of our YouTube channels, we will be doing promo videos leading up into that. Go support everybody who's been involved. Waitin, Linkaroo, the thanovic. All those people are diligently working with us to build this and make it something special. It is a true Rocket League community coming together to put on something that is bigger than ourselves. It is going to be crazy. Like it is a lot of work that is going in behind this, and we're just at the end of the day trying to put on something special.
And honestly, the qualifiers, the online qualifiers, like that was like sort of like a bonus thing. Realistically, we didn't even need to watch party these, like, because we're going to be still finding out who the winner is off stream. Like, we're not going to know until tomorrow with all the validations. So we probably won't have an announcement until maybe like Monday or Tuesday. We'll have to see. We just wanted to come here and hang out with you guys and showcase these people that are running it and staying committed to it until to the very end. So it's been great to watch them do their runs and follow their journey. It's really cool to see how quickly they've discovered new strats. We're seeing people share ideas in the public Discord. Like, once again, make sure to join there and give us some suggestions for the main event. We want to involve you guys as much as possible.
The question in chat, who's winning at the moment? That's a tough one. If you want an easy answer, go to ! Leaderboard in the chat. That'll pull up the speedrun.com leaderboard. In there is a couple names that are definitely in the running. Some names I've mentioned: Kokun from Hungary, Kevin, amateur pro who's been crushing on the TikToks and stuff lately. Also collegiate player, very, very talented. We've got Water RL1, Illuminous, Donsku, Holax, Delcor was in that conversation. No Mansion, Cheese, has not. Why did I read Cheese? Cosmic, S5 Cosmic, who's a very high level 1v1 who's been playing in the salt mine events and stuff that you guys have seen. Royalis, who's been in chat. Like, there is some pretty dominant figures, and it's crazy because it's some pro, some semi-pro, some speedrunners, some 1v1 players. It's been a mixture to everybody, and
good mix.
I genuinely have no idea how Qualifier Pack 3 is going to go. The only official confirmed submission is from Everjan, who has been very competitive as well. Is a 4-minute 7-second run right now. There has been conversations of a 3:31, maybe a 3:16 from Kevin, but not confirmed. We still got to verify it. So,
and there's still 20 hours. So I imagine Kevin wants to secure that, and he will go for a sub 310, maybe even a sub 3
as of right now.
Possible.
Most consistent performer is Kevin. He is at a 2 second place finishes, and the only difference between him and his first place competitor, 2 seconds both times. So he is the one to beat, and the one behind him is only 3 seconds behind.
Yep.
So it is going to come down to the wire. We will try to post all the social medias on all three of us, myself, Lethamyr, as well as the Apex RL. I'm sure we will be retweeting with live reactions of like, you've got to be kidding me. Like, this is insane. So it's been a lot of fun for us. I think you can tell by both me and Lethamyr and how much we're like word vomiting. It is a genuine excitement for something that we just kind of dreamed up that has been delivering on the excitement level for us. As people are just fans of this game, things are going way better than I expected. If I'm being completely honest.
For sure. The
cool.
qualifiers have been great. I mean, so I'm excited to see what comes from tomorrow, final submissions. But until then, hope to see you guys at the LAN from the 6th to 8th of December. Make sure you go there. It'll be at 12 p.m. Eastern each day, running from 12 p.m. Eastern to about 8 p.m., 9 p.m. We'll see how late it goes. But Thank you for joining for this. For the qualifiers, it's been great. You guys watching helps us a ton. Helps support us and make Epic realize that this is an event you guys want to see more of. Hopefully we can run more in the future, at least once a year. Love to see 2 if we can, and ramp it up and have more people. Yeah, dude, it's so much.
I'm so tired.
Yeah, I mean, once we have all the kinks out, it runs a lot smoother. Yeah. But
Copy paste.
Yeah, it is a good system. So, thank you guys. Thanks for watching. It's been a pleasure. Until December, we'll see you then.